Humble at
What do you?
all right. Thank you very much for coming. Mudo in China, we thank you for having us, and also we want to thank all our people, members of the community, especially you guys are the ones keeping us afloat. I also want to thank you guys for donating for the website. The website is live. I think I have shown it just before we started. So we have it's here, and I want to like implore people. So if you want to send in your stories, maybe you don't want to talk about you don't want to talk about it in the group, you can send in your visa stories. We can put it anonymously on the group where we can have like stories here. And there will be events. There are also like appointments. I made a place for appointment. If you want to talk to people, this is just an example. This is not, this is just an example. For example, you need to talk to somebody on that area you're going to. I think it's important that we also value each other's time in the community, and you probably get more attention from that person. You could even get the person to pick you up. At least that person will not have any sentiments. You know that, okay, I paid for this and this person is also trying to help me. So I feel like it's a good way for the community to like share with each other and all of that. Then we also have the blog. If anybody wants to write any article, please let me know. We can put it here, especially criminal records. People can ask these questions, especially people coming to Europe. You can ask this question 1 million times. You can find the post here and how to get it like that. So that's for the website. And here we have, okay, hold on. What's going on? Am I still sharing my screen? No. So we still have all of that. We have more things in place, but let's start the webinar. I also want to thank everybody that is our guest for today. We are all members of the community, but some of them are still not awake. So it's 7 a.m. in San Francisco, I think. It's like 6 a.m. in like Seattle.
Good morning.
Good morning, Eli. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. So
I'm happy to connect with you people from California.
Yes. So in the UK it's like 2 p.m. plus, and in Germany it's 3 p.m. In China it's 9 p.m. Singapore it's 11:30 p.m. and Australia I think is higher than that. So we can't really put it in favor of China time like 7 p.m. because we need to consider other people. And Mofe is still trying to join us. It will be 10 a.m. before he can join us in Canada. So he's going to come in like an hour later. So today's program, we also have people from Norway. So Malga from Norway, hi. So, and I also hope that everybody will be able to learn something from today. Our focus today is not to tell you how to leave China, because people that have been in the group for a while, they know how to leave China. And for new members, we talk about how to leave China when it's time for applications. Now people are preparing for visas. So we know that it is important for them to understand what is really like inside, things that you will not find on Twitter. So we are here to discuss that. And this is going to be like I'm going to like maybe ask the questions with the guests. They're going to tell you what it's like. If you have questions, immediately, please just type it in so we can have it in the conversation. And at the end of the thing, we'll also discuss your questions that you have. So to start the questions today, I want to know who is here. Is Peterson here? Peterson, are you here, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning. Please, what time is it on your end, and what's your state?
It's 8 a.m. here, and I'm in Illinois.
Okay. She's in Illinois. So it's 8 a.m. on the side. Do we have Emmanuel here? Emmanuel is here. Emmanuel, say hi to us, so please, I beg. Greet us. I think he's here. Maybe you can't hear me yet, but Emmanuel is in Germany. I'm sure it's like 3 p.m. on his side. We also have Mr. Olayemi. Please say hi to us and tell us where you are if you can, because I know you're busy right now.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm currently in San Francisco.
Yes, Mr. Olayemi is in San Francisco, and I think it's around 7 a.m., right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's actually 6 o'clock here.
What? Thank you for joining us. It's 6 a.m. So Iman is in the comment section. He said he's in Germany. I saw that. They said make una greet us with your face. Some people are on their bed. Some people are driving actually. So look at that is Mr. Ryan. He's
Yeah.
walking,
Good
looking
to see
around.
everyone.
Yeah.
Amotekun.
Wow.
He doesn't even there for car, so maybe he's driving. So you see, so we are really, really grateful. Also, I want to see if Raphael is here. Okay, maybe they can hear me now, they be busy. Also, Mr. King, greet us. Please, send us greetings.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. This is King Abraham reporting from the state of Maine, US.
Maine,
Happy to be
US.
here.
What time is it in Maine now?
It's 9:09 in the morning.
It's 9:09. So guys, you see, we have Americans here. Okay, future Americans, they say we should not call them Americans yet. So future Americans, they have different timelines. So you see why we have to like invite them. And we also have Swan. Swan, please say hi and tell us where you are, what time is it? I don't know if they can all hear me.
Hey.
Swan, hi. Hello. Good afternoon.
The person that said he hasn't seen my face. I'm just waking up.
Yes, so this is our face. She's here. So I think Swan is like 2 p.m. We have the same time. So it's like
Yeah.
2 p.m. on the other end.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yes.
In Liverpool.
Okay, she is in Liverpool. So UK people, prepare your questions. All right, Mr. Martins. Is Martins here? Oh, okay. I don't know if he's here yet. Martins is also going to represent Canada. So I don't know if he's been able to join us. All right. Also, we have more people. Favor, is Favor here? Is Favor here? Has he been able to join us? Please help me send the link to the guest group. Please, nice admin, please help us. Maybe he's not been able to join us or he's busy. Also on the move, so he will not be able to like comment properly sometimes. All right. I hope I was able to like get everybody. I was able to greet everybody, and let's greet ourselves. Welcome to the webinar. So we're going to start with the questions. I'm also here. It's 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. in Lisbon. And it's the same time with the UK for now. And I think with the same with Nigeria for now. So we're here. All right. Now, let's start with the questions. Let's start with the question. I hope I did not leave anybody out in the guest list. I hope so. I hope so. Okay. All right. So first, I want to ask everybody that is here, please switch, the people that are talking, please switch on your mic because it's an open conversation. So we can easily say what we want to say and be able to have like a real conversation around this. It's not really like a question, but if nobody can hear me, I will have to like call their names. So first, we're going to look at just normal questions. The first one will be looking back at how many months. Some people have been there for 1 year, some people have been there more than a year, some people have been there for a few months. For example, for me, this is my 4th month. It's actually today, 4 months ago that I left China, so it's just 4 months for me. and some people have left for a long time. So if you're looking over the years, like many months, years, what is it that you would have told yourself before leaving China? So before leaving China and setting forth to the country you went to, what is the thing you would have told yourself, like if you were looking at yourself and advising yourself? So we're going to start with that. Let's start with Mr. King. Let the conversation begin.
Hey. Again, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And I'm really happy to be here, at least to be able to give out some tangible, really important information for those of us that are still behind. Not like, I don't want to say behind in a condescending way, like back in China, I mean to say, and then we're aspiring to like get out of there. So, you know, bigger grounds and all of that. Well, before I left China, there were, I mean, quite a couple of things I wasn't aware of because, you know, going to a foreign land and despite having people on ground, I mean, the reality of where you're going is different from where that person is. I mean, if you're not in the same state, so the things you pay attention to being in California might be a bit different from what you pay attention to being in another state in the US. So for me, I think before leaving China, I didn't pay attention to what part of the US I was going to, like for real. I just wanted to get out of Asia. So what I would say, however, is that for anyone who's aspiring to come to the US, you should do some sort of like background check on which area, maybe which school you'll be applying to. I mean, which part of the US, is it the North, the East, the West, and the South, and all of that. So for me, I'm not a fan of too much code. And I actually find myself in a place that is kind of somewhat similar to Iceland. It's crazy cold where I am right now. Like it's really, really cold in Maine, in the state of Maine. And the state of Maine actually shares border with Canada, like one of the coldest places in Canada. So in this place, it's hell. It was hell for me when I got here. I know, of course, I've kind of experienced winter in China before, but that is nothing compared to this, I'm telling you for a fact. So, and that was, yeah, so that was because I didn't, well, I was just interested in, let me just get this full scholarship and get out of here. And more so, even if I had paid attention to that, if you can't, because of maybe say weather, I mean, people might see it as somewhat insignificant and all that, because of weather, refuse a fully funded PhD scholarship because you want to go to another place where you don't have that scholarship. So those are some of the things you have to put in mind, like zero in mind, like at least what I was not happy about is that I didn't have a background knowledge of this place. It's as simple as that. So what I know about them, however, is that the state I was has the lowest crime rate, and for me, I think safety is what matters most. I was like, well, I don't care. Let me just go to where there won't be gunshots here and there and all that. When getting here, the reality was like, wow, oh well, it is what it is now. I'm already getting, you know, used.
It is what it is. Thank you for sharing that with us. Please, if you're going to Maine, please be careful. Hold your cardigan. It will be cold throughout the time, any time of the year anyway. So please be prepared for that. From there, we go to Favor. Favor, are you here now?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Favor. It's good to see your face.
Yeah, good to see your faces too.
Yes. So we're asking question. What is it that you'd have told yourself before you left China, for where you were going? It's like too many things.
Not really, because I think for me, like I really didn't bother like checking so much about this stuff. My goal was just to like have my PhD in an English speaking country where I wouldn't have to like deal with language barriers. I don't think I have that energy or time for that. So, and which I think Australia offered me. I think I've been quite lucky. Although I didn't know much about the states and different states. But do I miss anything? Not so much. Yeah, not so much. The only thing is that the cold. So sometimes, you know, when you have Australia, you might just think every time it's just hot, warm, Melbourne, and so on. So No, not chow fan, because even if you need chow fan, there's Chinese restaurant to get chow fan here.
And
You
then
understand?
it's way better. So,
Yeah, so like you've got like every like it's a mixed culture, you understand? So whatever you're missing, like when I was even coming, I was told not to bring food stuff because you can easily get your food stuff here. You understand? Like, so I really miss everything. The only thing is the transport system, which I think is also similar to the US. It depends on where you're staying. But that the reason why I said I'm lucky is because I'm staying in Canberra, which is like the capital. So it's not as populous as some other place like Sydney, Melbourne, and so on. Some things that you could still get away with, you know. You come here, you have your Nigerian driver's license, you're driving with your Nigerian driver's license, and nobody's disturbing you. They've never checked my driver's license since I started driving like a year ago or something, you know. So, but then with the transport stuff, you know that it's a necessity for you to get a car. So I think that's where some people struggle because you're like, if you look at your scholarship money, you feel like there's no way you're gonna save to get a car. Let's say at least maybe $4,000, $5,000. Like it's gonna take a long time. Okay, if I'm gonna say the but that I think I didn't know much is the house rent. The house rent, like it's crazy because normally when you say the scholarship and you say, oh, 28,000, 26,000 per year, you'll be like, oh. And then when people that are there before tell you this, you'll be like, how are you managing your money? You convert it to RMB, like you'll be like, okay, at least you get like 2,000 something per month, right? You convert it to RMB, you know how much it's gonna be. So you feel like, this guy is no day serious. I waited that they use that money to until you get paid and then you uh let's say at least for me, I'm still paying like 550 fortnight. That's like 1,100 per month. And it's not like a new fancy place you get. So that's like half of your salary already. And then now if you look at that, and then you have to pay, let's say you have to pay for car park in the school, let's say $170 for three months. And then you have to do car registration, let's say 270 or two something for 3 months, 90 days. And then if you have to do full insurance too, which I haven't done, you know how much that is gonna cost. And then let's say you have to pay um internet too. And then internet is so expensive compared to like China. Yeah, okay. I think I'm remembering it's so expensive, like, and it's not as good as China.
all
It's not
right.
as good as China. Yeah, so those are the things. But I think the most shocking thing for me, like, it was the um house rents, and also for the fact that you can sometimes it's hard for you to get the house rent.
All
Okay,
right.
I see. It's hard for you to like get the house to get your house, even when you're outside, like because they would need your like house history or whatever thing. So sometimes it's just people struggle with that a lot when they come into Australia. And if you don't settle that or you don't have someone to stay with, let's say for the first few days, it's gonna be hard because like Airbnb is like maybe 100 something per night, or hotel is like 100 something or $200 per night. So no matter how rich you are, your your bank account is gonna go low if you don't plan. So basically that's that. But apart from that, I don't think I miss so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Favor. I mean, I'm letting Favor speak like giving you all the point because I think he's going to be busy for the next few minutes. So, but we're still going to cover everybody. Like we talk about rent, we talk about transport, we talk about it's not just about the cars, but the little things that you need to know, like bus card, which is way different in places like it's way different in China. So now let's go to Peterson. Peterson, just tell us in a sentence. Let's just use one sentence so we can go to main topics. What is it you would have told yourself? You're looking at yourself right now before you left China. What is one thing you would have told yourself? This is what you should keep in your head before you leave China.
Okay, let me just say two things. Like for me, the first thing is if I had known, I would have left China a long time ago.
Hmm.
'Cause I kind of delayed. I wasn't interested at some point. I wasn't interested in leaving China, right? So that's the first thing. Not that China is bad for me, but like the reality is facing the realities was a big challenge for me. Then that's number one. Number two, I was hell bent on a particular country, so I kind of sidelined the other countries. And at the end of the day, I now feel like if I had known, I should not have worked that part of focusing on a particular country. So those two things for me.
Thank you. So like, it's also the same for me because I focused on Canada for a long time before I woke up. So if you're still in that lane, please let's pick that up. So now let's go to Olayemi. Olayemi, please tell us also in one sentence, like what is it? Nobody told you, as I've told yourself.
Yeah, just like Peter said, I actually spent 7 years in China, and recently I was comparing my 7 years and my less than a year here. And I think the difference was really clear in terms of so many things, actually. So regarding San Francisco, actually, the house rent is really, really high. So, and I didn't do much findings regarding that. Then, though there are lots of opportunities here. So, but in terms of house rents, normally people look for how to pair with each other before they arrive or so. So I could have done all those findings for coming here. Yeah. But currently house rent is like $1,200 every month. And that's quite fine. So
Right. Alfred is going to take the lead today because it's fire. Now let's take this fire to Europe. I'll come back to America. Let's take it to Europe. First, I'll go first. I think the first thing that got to me was if somebody had told me that the rent was going to be that crazy. Okay, everybody on social media says move to Portugal. They are doing you. Let's just tell you. They are there to get you. Because if you move to Portugal without money, I say you suffer a lot. And nobody will help you. Because the rent is not as expensive as San Francisco. It's not as expensive as any other rent they said. But before you will find it, they will tell you to bring your salary, 3 months salary in Portugal. They tell you to bring your tax receipt 3 months. They tell you to bring guarantor that has the same thing. And the bad thing is that before you get a guarantor that will give you his salary slip, is another big deal. So even when you have the money, your money, nobody will tell me that, nobody told me that my money will be useless. Like I have rent money, but I cannot rent anywhere. So that is one thing they didn't tell me. And the other thing they didn't tell me is that they didn't tell me that Lisbon was okay done. Nobody, even though I'd been there before, I did not feel it as a tourist. The hills were crazy. So if you're coming to Europe on holidays, please drop all your fancy Dior shoes for just Instagram pictures. Wear comfortable, New Balance, that New Balance shoe. That will be your best bet because it has memory foam, or any other shoe that has memory foam in it. So those are the two things nobody ever told me. Now I'm going to go to the UK. Swan, give us 2 things that nobody ever told you before you move on and that you have told yourself.
Number one is that I always wish I moved earlier. Because coming here, it's like if you're in the right path, you can approximately predict your life. Like you can tell yourself that I know where I'm going to be in the next 3 years, but that doesn't happen in China. Like in China, you can go up high and just have a very tragic fall. Like you will crash back to zero, back to not having a visa, back to not even being able to rent a house or anything. So somehow, sometimes I say, I wish I moved earlier. But then, like, I really wish I moved earlier. Yeah. Another thing is when moving to the UK, people always assume that Britain speaks English. Therefore, everything is going to be fine. I'm going to be able to hear them. So when I was coming to Liverpool, I never knew anything about Scouse accent. It's literally like an Indian. When I first came, it was like an Indian was speaking to me. They speak very different from that. It's different. Like Birmingham people speak different. Liverpool people speak different. Scotland people are the accent is the worst. So I did a lot of lip reading, even as an English speaker. before I was able to start understanding what they were saying. Then another thing is getting all your documentation from China before ever leaving that country, please. Because if you come here, these people, they want to know your history, especially as an immigrant. You don't have a credit record. You don't have any digital footprints. Okay, you don't even have your DBS is clean. So they would normally, especially if you're working if you want to work a very posh job, they will need references from some of them. Like the place I got a job to teach, they're asking me for 10 years reference, 10 years. So I have to go back to Shanxi University. I have to go back to my former place. And you know how these people are, like, the fact that you already left their country and you're in a Western country is already preparing their body.
Yeah.
So, and they can't, it's even hectic being there and even wanting these documents, not to talk of being away and wanting. Some of them, they will be posting on their moment, but they won't even reply you. Some of them, they will send you round. So make sure you get everything from your police report. If possible, take your reference and stamp it. Okay, and stamp it and bring it. Okay, even the references, they'll say it has to be official email. Just make sure you can try to build a healthy relationship with people around you to have official email, so that you're able to get these references from them, because they don't do this print reference and send to you. They will request it directly from the person's official email, .cn.edu.org, all these kind of things. So, and then the last thing is having a defined path of what you want to do. Okay, not just that name because people are that. Have something you want to do. What is it you want for yourself? Why are you moving to this country? What is the job prospect? What is happening there? Okay, don't just Japa and pay school fees of £16,000, £17,000, and go and start doing healthcare visa. It makes no sense. I don't think it makes sense. You can't pay so much money to study data science or some very, very big course, and then you go and start doing healthcare assistant. Healthcare assistant here is for people that didn't go to school. I don't know why you should be doing that. Don't do that to yourself. So what I would advise is, because once you travel here, it's always very busy. You're doing something. You're always doing something. You're working. You're writing assignments. You're going to school. So have a defined path. Start taking certifications back in China where you have a little time for yourself. Stay up at night, take certifications, save them, do whatever you're supposed to do, get those certifications in. Because when you come here, time flies. You're going to keep doing something and you wake up and you find out that I'm already almost done from school. So take those certifications and have a defined path, have something, check indeed what is the job prospect, what do they require, and follow through. Okay, so that is it. Thank you. Sorry, I took long.
So, just to reiterate what she said, please do your courses. I'm always saying to people, you do things seriously. I'm telling you. That's why I was wasting time in that China. I was not doing anything, watching K-drama. You don't want me to do course. I did not do. I'm here now, overnight, always going to do UX UI. So please do your course before leaving China. Very, very important. Now, let's go back to America. So Precious here. Please tell us 2 things that you wish you had known before leaving.
Is there another person behind Precious there? Or is my Precious?
Oh, yeah, you only work today.
Okay.
Important questions today.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of my colleagues here, they've mentioned some important point that most of these points actually like affect each and every one of us where we are. And if I'm to say something, that would be that, yeah, I would like to buttress on what Swan said earlier. So in the sense that I will advise people to improve on their skills, learn more skills. Important skills, coding or whatever, learn more skills. It doesn't matter how many skills, just learn it. Sometimes being the master of, jack of all trades, master of none, sometimes can be better than master of one. Being a master of one or being the master of none, both are important. When you get here, you get to see that being the master of none or being the master of one can put you in better positions. People will come for you. They know you know how to do this. Come and try it out. You don't have to be like a professional at it. Just come and give it a try. So that's something I've actually realized here. And I kind of reflect on the time that I spent in China, because I spent about 6 years there too. And I can still recollect that, yeah, I mean, where I was in China, I mean, they had a lot of facilities. Even though these facilities, as a foreigner, it's possible for you not to know how to use or what to do with some of these facilities. And but even with that, I felt like I could have done more, like push myself beyond like what I've actually done. Because at the little I was able to like learn, I mean, has actually put me in better position here. I mean, within 6 months, I think like I've actually achieved more than the 6 years I've spent in China. Yeah. So,
Deep, guys. That's what I'm saying. Deep China. Every day I'm on the group.
so yeah. So,
all right.
So like my take-home message would be like if you want to become the master of none or master of one, both works. Just try to be one.
Exactly. Thank you, Dodo. Thank you very much. Same thing we are saying. From tomorrow, you will see me that every day I wake up, leave China, you're not here. I'm telling you, there's a lot we just find out you're behind, even with ordinary CV. Because, for example, the job I'm doing is grade 12 this thing that you need to do it. I mean, I'm using all my page to do it. So please, it's better you leave, start getting all your skills, pack your bags. Next, we are going to Ima. Ima, tell us how it is. The 2 things you'd have wished that somebody told you, or you'll be telling yourself, you were looking at yourself before leaving China. Ima is busy. Look at Ima. Ima, it's time now.
Ima is eating.
We can't hear you. You're mute.
Hi. Good afternoon. I'm sorry, I'm on call with my big brother. Yeah. Happy to be at the same time. Yeah, I can hear you. I can talk now.
Yes.
It's just gonna wait. Hello. So I have to talk briefly about Germany. Yeah. The questions. So you can see I'm already speaking a little bit like Germans. That's, by the way, that's Germany is a good place, I would say, far better than China, because, you know, I mean, a couple of people would come here and they maybe would decide to leave. That could happen. You could come here and say, okay, you still want to transit. For the younger ones, that's okay. But the beautiful thing about here is that you could also stay here. Like, it's not like China where you don't have an option. You actually have a very viable option here. We have Nigerians who are doing great jobs here. You know, some of them are equally into German politics at the moment, and the German system is changing daily. They're trying to have more people. It's something million people in Germany, and they're looking for more people. But there are different tracks to come here. There are different tracks to come here. Most easiest one is as a student. And but if you're coming from Nigeria, that would not be easy. If you're coming from China, it would be easier. Why? Because in Nigeria, up to 1 year, no appointment. People are getting an appointment 18 months and all of that. But if you're coming from China, you have to think about where you're staying. In China, when I wanted to come here, one of the issues that I faced was getting appointment time in Shanghai, because I was under the Shanghai region. Schools here give admission around August. It's centralized. The admission process is usually centralized. So you have just 1 month to process your visa. If you cannot do it within 1 month, you have to pray that your school agrees that you stay, you know, you do some things online before you resume. So you probably have three months to sort everything out if you're lucky. The education system here is not normal. It's not like, I think it's next to France. It's very tough. It's a lot of, you have a lot of coursework to do. I did first semester, I did 5 courses, like serious courses. Second semester, I'm doing six courses. Third semester, I'm supposed to spend it abroad. And in that abroad, if I go to a place like France, I would do six courses to be able to make up for 30 credit units. 30 credit. So altogether, I'm supposed to have like something credit units. And for Germans, every credit unit is 5. Every course is 5 credit units. Yeah. You need to have skills that are like really important. Otherwise, you would end up cleaning or doing some menial jobs, doing DPD job, Amazon, and you're competing with, if you want to do things like, what do you call it? Where's this one? Mr. Biggs or that kind of a thing, you need to be an Indian, because that is like, here it's also, I mean, the racism is there, but not as much as in China. And they would prefer an Indian over you to do this kind of jobs. And so Africans there, I found out that they think we are strong, so they put you, even the recruitment agencies are like trying to put you in all of those little thing. When I got here, at the moment I got here, I was able to get a job because I got to see a friend who recommended me for a job. The job was time bound. After that, I got into one of those kind of jobs I'm telling you. The DPD one, I had to wake up to 50 a.m. to go to work. It wasn't stressful, but then the time of waking up, I became really lean overnight. So my family looked at it, and my other brother was like, dude, my mom, my other brother, and my friends, hey, you have to stop and do some other thing. So I stopped, and I remember that I have a good CV, and I started looking for a good job, and I got a job in the university to manage. So what you want to do is to really up your CV a lot. And Germany, there's specific like opportunities here, like Central States. Specialization is important. So someone like me that has a variety of experience, I've had to narrow it down. Even when I applied for this job, it was supposed to be admin and research. And then they made it, they said, hey, you situated for, you're a research guy, like from what we're saying, this is your track. So you're gonna be a research guy here. So if you're going to learn digital skills, that is most definitely the best for you. Learn digital skills, it's the best for you. And if you can learn the language, trust me, you be a big boy in less than 6 months, because you definitely get a job. The language is important for those who can learn the language. So many things to say. There's another route.
Yes, we'll talk about it. We're going to get into all the topics. I'm sorry to cut you short because we have one more person to talk on the introductory topic before we go into like major topics. And after this introductory topic, please, our guest, I'm going to give us time, maybe 2 minutes to talk on each topic. So we have to gist fast so that we can manage the time. Okay. So now I'm going to invite Raphael. Raphael, please, can you tell us what are 2 things that you wish you had known before moving from China?
Yeah, man.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So you decided to time me, Abby?
No, you're not time.
I'm just
After you start timing.
I'm just joking. Don't mind me.
Okay.
Yeah, coming back to your question, I didn't need anybody to remind me. I just stayed in China for 3 years and I ran away. I had two job offers in China, but see, as a young person, there's a stage in life you look at what you really want. Are you going to compromise stability for money? So so I looked at it and said that China is not giving at all. China wasn't giving at that point. So I came in China straight on a working visa. So I didn't go through the student process. So I came in on a working visa, stayed 2 years, and you're not building at all. In terms of, I'm getting close to 1 year in Norway, and I know what I have achieved in this time compared to spending 3 years in China. Like the money, what we use it for, you don't even know what you're using the money for. But compared to now, at least I know what the money is going into.
Mm-hmm.
So coming back to everybody has spoken very, very interesting things about skills and everything. So coming back to accommodation, which is very necessary, and which is and I want to thank you very much for this this get together, because people just asked in the group, what is the essence of this Japa group? Like people like, but this is the thing now, it is a progress. And in the progress, not that everybody that is complaining about accommodation, but indirectly we are building networks. And in these networks we are building among ourselves now is going to cushion this effect of accommodation, maybe for the next people that will be coming in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
I don't know many people who don't know my story. Like I came into Norway. When I came into Norway, I didn't have a place to sleep. My mind was just, get yourself out of China. That was in my brain. You can come in there and sleep on the streets. I was psychic. Like I just wanted to leave China. And I got to Norway and I got love. Like from a Nigerian. I stayed in his house for 1 month. This is somebody I was meeting for the very first time. I don't know about him. He accommodated me in his house, and I stayed in with his family for 1 month. Imagine you're in Europe and somebody's giving you an accommodation and feeding you for 1 month. So those that Emma, you can tell now when somebody keeps you in their house for 1 month and feeds you for 1 month. So you can tell like it's not easy. So this love is something that we can pass around. So yes. Then what again? The only thing I miss about China is just that it's just cheap, honestly. You can just get cheap things.
Yeah, I actually miss online shopping, but I'm saving money.
It's just the cheap things. Like, but yeah, you know you're getting something good and it's going to last, but it's going to be expensive. So we shouldn't really waste our time. I'm speaking for those. This is just, I'm done, but this is just one point I just want to put in. I just want to chip in. You see, yes, those people, yes, we're all about the money here. You understand? So like, if you have finished your master's, please find somewhere out and do your PhD. Simple, not in China. Because
we are begging you now, please.
Because why I'm saying this is because, okay, if you want to continue schooling, you finish master's, maybe you can try you can just try to diversify in places. But please pay more attention in getting PhD out. Why I'm saying this, I just came in from Boston from a conference now. It was the ECS conference. And I will tell you that I saw your professors there. All your professors were there getting ideas. Your work is just to be a minion in the lab, producing papers for them. But me, I was staying here, my prof was like, hi, Raphael, what are you doing? Like, let's go to Boston together. I went with him. But your professor will keep you in the lab to produce papers, and he will carry himself and carry few of, because the whole place were with Chinese professors and Chinese students from different universities. It is sad, honestly. Please, yes, the pathway is through education, and it's through education. Work is very difficult, honestly. Work is very, very difficult. I've just been favored by grace. I've been trying to applying. So you're finishing your bachelor's, please run away, find somewhere and do masters, please. Don't be led astray with the teaching, the money you get from teaching. This runs. It is going to crap one day, and it will backfire badly. You will not know what the money will be used for. So please let me just off the mic for later. Thank you.
We'll take over the mic from there. So I think that's where we start our gist today. Please, we are begging you, especially when I see people that just finished bachelor's. Please, you better run away. Okay, maybe I'll be coming to all of you dreams. I'll be flogging you inside your dream because I don't want to listen to me. I'm taking it muscular. Please, look, you will make money in China. Fine, sometimes I miss the money, I won't lie. But what do you want to use the money for? After, okay, you used to buy things, Sabi, but remember that your friend in Portugal that is earning less can buy house, can get mortgage, can get car mortgage, can get good health insurance, can travel 26 countries. Think about that. Let's think about that for a minute. Now, before we go, we're going to move to housing. I'm going to jam some topics together. Now, please, our guests, please, it's not about advice. We're talking about our experiences. Not, I advise you to come, I advise you. We won't talk about what really happened to us so that people can learn from that story. So I'm going to jam housing, rent, accommodation, and hostels. If you had to use hostels, I'm going to jam that together in a conversation. Then the next set of conversation, we'll talk about transport, driving, Uber, getting your license, and all of that. So first, when we talk about rent, we're going to talk about rent, housing, accommodation. When you arrive, the first thing you're supposed to do, that's how we jam the situation. What happened for you? Not, I advise you to come, I advise you to do this. We're not here to give adult people advice. So they still do whatever they want. Just tell them your story. Let them pick whatever they want to pick from you. So I'll go first. So I live in Lisbon. So when I came, I did not know that the houses, you had to have salaries, receipts, and all of that. I've said that before. Salary receipt 3 months, IRS 3 months, and all of that. Nobody will tell you that. Those your aunties on YouTube, they will not tell you because they want you to just watch their video and come. So you come and suffer like this. And if you want to rent house together, it is cheaper to rent house as a whole, but you people need job. So I did not have a job. I did not have salary receipt for 3 months. I did not have anything. Now, how did I eventually get a place like after 2 months of waking up, sending application everywhere, trying to look at house? And when you want to look at house, not like China, that one white and black shirt looking person will come and take you to your house. No, people will queue outside the house and be waiting for your turn to look at it. If your ancestors are working that day, those 20 people in front of you, they will not like it. You will not like it. The landlord will now say, oh, I will think about it. Maybe tomorrow. If there are no people that want to like it, you can come and take it. So that's how it works. So you have to wait for your turn. You have to see the house and wait to see and approve that they can give you. Now, for me, I was lucky because my landlord is Chinese. So when I saw that, until he looked like one, I quickly spoke English, I quickly spoke Chinese to her. So when I spoke Chinese to her, I was like, my parents are the ones from China, I'm not from China. I'm like, good, whatever. So later, when she later called me, he said, the owner of the house, which is also Chinese but in China, said they'd rather give it to me than give it to another person, just because I survived China. Not because they like me, they said, because you survived China, we think that you can live in this house. So it's always a different story. So have it at the back of your mind. Do I want to stay in the hostel? Which I would advise, because if you stay in the hostel as a student, you don't have to look for all these salary or IRS receipts and all of that. So for Lisbon, for people coming to Portugal, I will advise, ask your school. Okay, I say I'm not giving advice, but look for hostel first and land there. Then after that, when you find your feet, go and rent house. Or you people can come, live in the hostel, at the end of the day, find yourself as a group. By the time somebody has a job, you can go and use the person's receipt to apply for your housing. And hostels are also good, but they also charge money, and you also sign contracts. So you sign contracts, because I also lived in the hostel at some point. And if you decide to leave, your deposit will go. That's just it. So I'm going to go to the other guys. I want to share their experiences. Let's start with Olayemi. I think you're available. What was your experience with housing? Just like 2 minutes. I think I will time it, please, and I will stop. 2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, actually, housing in San Francisco is very, very expensive. Yes, many things are actually expensive in like California generally. And my experience regarding housing was you don't have option, you just have to take it. Like, for example, I got here on Friday, I started working on Saturday. I got a security job. I worked like almost 3 days on the street. I actually saved some money from China. So I think you have to pay attention to that. Like, gather some money while coming. At least I can stay you for like 2 months, at least. So at least that one will take care of the accommodation aspects, because all the houses we are seeing is 1,000 plus, 1,000 plus, 1,000 plus. The place I stayed for my first year was like a rat house. Some of my friends used to do video call, they used to laugh me. So very, very small place, and like it's even gonna affect your sanity. So when you're staying in place like that, but as time goes, that's kind of like humble beginning. So you have to put mind to that as well. You're not just coming here to start coming to live large or so. You have to kind of lie low a little bit. And from there, you start getting information. And I think I'm kind of stable right now. So I think after 6 months, I moved to a better place. So in San Francisco, housing is very expensive, but the opportunities are there as well to pay the rent. So that is the good thing about it. So yeah, and also the weather is also very good as well. So that is all what I'm going to say. We don't have snow here, unlike Maine. Yeah, you see my guy over there is like freezing.
Please shut up
So
about me.
Is it,
so yeah,
what's the distance? What's the temperature?
What's the
oh,
temperature?
It's just
well,
really
I don't pay
freezing. The
attention to
snow
that, but
can
it's very
get to
hot actually.
Oh, you're still wearing jacket?
Yeah. Sorry, no, this one is a security job jacket. So,
Okay.
so the weather is very hot these days, and also even during winter, it's just normal cool, like the autumn of China. But there has never been snow in this part of the world, so that's also another thing. So I think that's what I'm going to say regarding accommodation and house rents here. And like accommodation is not difficult to find, but they may be requesting for your credit score. But if you're a student, your school can just give you a letter of introduction that you are a student, so that will cover that aspect. So it's not a big deal, but it is 1,000 plus kind of, except sometimes you can pair 2-3 people together, and you can go to some maybe less developed place like Auckland, lots of homeless and like all these drug people. You have cheap accommodation there, but most people don't want to go that side. So you just stick to student environment, or maybe place that you can actually be safe. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
All right, thank you. I think Mr. Lion said like 3.30 minutes. But it's good. Thank you for keeping it for us. Okay,
King took like 1 minute out of it.
Yeah, so Mr. King, you get just 1 minute. All right, now I'll go to I don't know if Mofe has joined us yet. It's still like 5 more minutes for him to have time to join us. So when he joins us, Canada people can focus.
Hi, Annie, I'm around.
Hey, hi, Mofe.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Move show your video. Let's see your face.
They want to see your video, want to see your cheeks and everything.
Yeah, how you doing, guys? Good morning. Can you guys see me? I'm using my my PC, so it's not a bit bright.
Yeah,
See
it's fine,
glow
it's fine.
up, oh, see glow up.
You see,
See
it's
fine
fine.
face, see glow up. Okay.
Hey, Swan. How are you now?
Not a chop the boy for that side. All right, let's go to Mofe actually. Mofe, we are on the topic of accommodation and rent and how to get a place in your city or your province. So please share your experience, but we are trying to time ourselves, so we have a lot to say. So maybe like 2 minutes on that, then we go to other people.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Once again, actually, I'm in Montreal. Is the what's it called, the capital of Quebec. So actually, my own experience was a bit tough when I came into Canada. Generally, in Canada, I think they have the problem of accommodation, but here in Montreal is a bit more strenuous because of we have a high number of people staying here. In fact, with the fact that Ottawa and then Toronto is very close to this place. makes it very difficult. And most people out there, they come from Toronto or Ottawa to come and stay here because ours is a bit cheaper compared to those places. So people go to work from here to Toronto and other places that are close by. So generally in Montreal, it's very, very strenuous, very difficult. When I came, it was so difficult. Thank God I have a friend here already who was able to assist in that regard. And to be honest, it's not that cheap. Not maybe it's not cheap actually. Because when I came, I have the mentality of converting Canadian dollars to Naira. So when you hear the bills, it's a bit crazy. But
We all do. We all do.
so, but later on, I started, getting used to the system. When I came, the house I got was a bit cheaper. Um, I was able to get it through a friend, also in Nigeria too. So basically, I was actually staying with our in-law. So it's a very big space. Myself and a friend of mine who came together from Nigeria then, we actually shared the apartment. So I was paying around $400 then, in Canadian dollars. So he was paying 500 because his room was a bit bigger than mine. So just like a small cubicle that I was just managing it before I moved to my current place. But my current place right now is around $8,100. So it's not that easy, it's not that cheap, let me just put it that way, but it's still manageable. And then for those who are coming over to this place, it's not always easy to get an accommodation, especially when you're just coming to Canada for the first time, based on reasons that include you showing some documents, which I cannot show, even if I have the intention to assist. You need to show some document that you are a student, and then maybe your SIN, and then some other, and then some landlord or agent, they want to see that you have a record here in Canada before they can give you their house. All those things makes it difficult for newcomers. So most of the time, it is always recommended that if you are coming outside Canada, always book an Airbnb. Although it's a bit expensive and relatively cheap for some places, maybe around $70 to $80 per night. So, but coming from Nigeria, converting Naira to dollars is, you would think maybe you have money, but when you convert the money, you don't have anything. So it's a bit difficult, unless if you have some people staying here, those you can stay with them while you are actually looking for spaces. So I think I've been able to answer that question. And
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right, for the other guys, I'm going to move to another question. Okay, because looking at accommodation, one thing I know that is general is that the documents, please, if you have somebody you're asking questions from, please ask them about the documents that you need and how to get them, and if it's even possible to get them. If it's not possible, please quickly rent Airbnb if you can afford it, or find somebody to stay with. When you get there, you figure it out. All right. So Favor is going to answer the question on documents when we get to documents. So please hold on, please. All right. And those are questions that we can easily type in the group sometimes. I could also get you in contact with him, but want to know like simple things that will mess you up, like accommodation, where to stay, and knowing what to do. Now we're going to move to transport. We're going to move to transport, and we're going to talk about the based on continents, or if there are major differences, others can chip in. So first, we look at what type of transport is available. How do you get yourself on it? Which one is preferable for you to stay? Now, please, I'm focusing on transport because China has one of the best transport systems in the world. So when you get to other places, that America or that EU, you will know that you will not miss it, but you will miss it thoroughly. So let's talk about transportation. We're going to move to transportation. I'm going to start with Dodo or Precious. I'm going to start. What type of transportation, what should you prepare for if you're moving to this part of America? And can you drive with your Nigerian license? If you don't have a license, should you get one in China before coming? So those are the things that we want to look at.
Yeah, thank you. I'm currently at Oregon, and the city I am is more like is a very small city. So, I mean, you can actually trek most of the institutes and the places you can go to are trackable places. So, but of course, you also need a car because car is a necessity, not something it's not a luxury. So it's a necessity. And driving here, I don't have a car yet because I might live just a few blocks away to this campus. So yeah, I think that you need to get a driver license here, then you can keep moving around. So yeah, that's what I can say about it.
All right.
Thank you.
About this city I am right here. So
Mr. King, do you want to add something for us?
Yeah, I want to take it up from where Dodo,
Sorry, before you continue, can I say something? Please, Mr. Dodo, Precious is living in Oregon. Now, Oregon is on this side, close to the Pacific Ocean, like San Francisco, California, etc. And Mr. King is on the other side. So Maine is like on the other side of the Atlantic. So close to like New York, not very close, but around that area. So you can know the difference. So,
yeah, so I live in a place that is 2 hours away from, 4 hours away from Boston and 6 hours away from New York. But if I'm to fly, it's barely an hour, thereabouts. So on the issue of transportation, well, I'm going to give you a shocker. I know most people will probably not believe it, but then transportation in the US is shit. I'm telling you, it's nothing compared to what you have in China, where you have options of Didi, of the normal Chuzucho, the bus, the electric bike, and the manual bikes. It's not the same. It's not the same here. So I think why that is because in the US, having a car is not a luxury, just like Dodo said. It's a necessity. It's one of the necessities of life. You see people living in crap houses and they're using one of the best cars. Like that's what I've noticed here in the US. So similar to Dodo, where I also stay in Maine, it's a city called Orono, where the University of Maine is. And you need a car. You need, for you to be mobile, you need a car. And it's not a place where it's as big as any city you can think of in China, like maybe Suzhou, Shanghai. No. Where you can just hail a bike or hail a cab or whatever. This place is dry as hell. Well, from what I'm told, the population of the entire, this small city that I am is less than 50,000. So it's, for you to go to the mall to buy things, you definitely need to be mobile. And some people are like privileged to maybe get accommodation around the mall and all that, so they can just take a walk there. It's not too far from me as well, but then you have other things to do and you need a car. So why I'm emphasizing that is because the bus system that we have in this place, it runs per hour. It's not like 10 or 15 minutes where you have in China, one bus goes, you have different options of boarding bus 2, bus 3. In this place, if you miss 1 hour, you're going to wait for another hour. It's as simple as that. So it's that. So I think the citizens have come to realization. It just felt like, what's the point going with a public, but when you can just get your cars, and cars are not extremely expensive here as well. So they are on the cheap side. No, so now talking about the legality of driving and all that. So well, in this state, I've driven in I think 3 states now since I got to the US. In Maine, when you come into the university state of Maine, the Nigerian international driver's license is valid. It's recognized. The one we do that we all know is Dagbu. Everybody in Nigeria know that international driver's license is Dagbu. I did mine even when I was not on the ground. So it's recognized here in the state of Maine. Pending the time that you go for their own normal local driver's permit and all of that. Learner's permit and driver's license. So it's legal here. But in places like Connecticut and Boston, I doubt that. Why is because I had an experience driving with my friend from Connecticut to Boston sometimes earlier this year, actually January. And we got stopped by 2 police officers, and then they requested for her driver's license. As at then, we didn't have a driver's license. I had a learner's permit. I already did the test, and I was supposed to go for my driving test, which I hadn't gotten then. So I don't have the US driver's license yet. I only have the learner's permit, which I can use as long as I have somebody beside me that's been driving for over 2 years and has a driver's license. So my friend got accosted and like, where's your driver's license? And so we showed them, he showed them his own international driver's license, and they felt like, you know, they didn't really reckon with it. And they were like trying to say it's legal. And I had to like pull up my own learner's permit, like this is mine. They now had to tell me to drive instead of my friend, because I want to believe that they didn't feel that the Nigerian driver's license was, you know, valid enough to be on their road. So in some places in the US, they reckon with your Nigerian driver's license, and in some states, they would not. In Maine, I know they do. And in places like Boston and Connecticut, I don't think they do that. So the biggest shock that you find, depending on where you appear, I mean, you happen to find yourself in the US, is that the transportation system is not as advanced as that of China, where you have lots and lots of options, and the bus system is good, where if you miss one in the next 10 minutes, you can just hop on another. It's not the same here, so brace yourself before coming.
All right, let's go to UK, then we go to Norway. What is the transportation like? Do we need bus cards? What is driving like? Do you have to learn again? I know UK has that, the other side of driving. So.
Okay, so in the UK, I won't say transportation is that bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I won't say transportation is bad. I think one thing I struggled with was lateness. They don't care about time as the bus drivers. They can come anytime, earlier, later. Like some of them come very late, some of them come and they play it so cool. They don't care. You know how somebody driver comes, how is your? They're just like, are you all right? So they don't really care. So, but there's transportation is nice. There are buses, there are trams, there are trains, depending on where you live. So it's not that bad, just lateness. So for me, what I normally do, because I don't trust their timeline, even what is showing on the map is still not correct. So what I do is when I check, I try to go 30 minutes or like few minutes earlier to get the earlier bus so that I have time in case anything happens. And another thing is that unless you have a stable job in this country, I don't advise people to come here and buy cars. Even though cars are very, very cheap. I won't say very, very, they're cheap. But what's expensive is the insurance and other things you're going to pay. So your rent, pay your insurance monthly. It's too much money, especially if you're not using the car. People that buy cars here, make sure they use it. So people that buy cars here are people that really need it, like families that need to drive their babies because it's not push buggies on trams and trains. And so if you want to, sometimes I see families pushing their children into the train, and you know, when the bus is shaking, it really scares me. So I feel like they should be the only people that should buy cars, and those that have jobs that work far from their jobs. Unless if else you just be paying shit money. Another thing is that one thing I found out that helps me a lot is subscribing for monthly tickets for my transportation. So what I do is, when you come in, you first of all know what routes you take, like for your school, for your job. And when you master the routes, you buy the ticket for those routes monthly. So you're sure that transportation is sorted for this month. You just pick your card, go anywhere you want to. Because when I just came in and I got a job, one of the things that really used to bother me about it was like, I'm going to pay so and so tickets. Because sometimes you have like three changeovers, and it's really expensive to be paying £2, but before you know, you'll spend £10. But you can take your ticket and swipe for all of them, your card and swipe for all of them. So that's one thing. And some cities do give student discounts. So if you go with your student ID, they will give you a discount. And the beautiful thing about here is that if you work with the government, they will give you discounts. For example, if you get a job and you drive for a particular bus service, they will give you an ID and you can go enter free for all the buses. As a teacher, if you are going around some schools, like if you're dropping in front of a school, some drivers, they've seen you normally and they say, oh, you're a teacher. They can actually not stick, they are actually not to swipe. One thing I noticed is that they're not so keen about you paying money for like some of them will see you, you're struggling to swipe. They say, it's all right, and you just pass. You understand? So it's not, I feel like they don't take life too seriously. Not like when China, they're going, come on, will you get down? You're not going to. These people, some of them don't really care. Okay? So transportation is not bad. What else?
there's another thing I like about here is that there's something called an open ticket for trains. It means that if you buy an open ticket, you can travel with that ticket anytime within the week or within the month. So you don't need to travel particularly for that time. And sometimes, if it's a ticket for a particular rail service, you can take an earlier one or take a later one. It doesn't have to be that specific number of train like they do in China. So it was something that I really liked. Like sometimes I buy a ticket for rail service and I go earlier, or if I'm late, I just go to the next one. So it's not that, but just lateness, that's all.
Yeah, all right. So I think for transport system, I think after China, I think Europe got whatever is in their brain right. So for us, we have this card. It's called, it's a card that we use for all transport system. And this one is special because we also have ferry. So we ride on the water anyhow. You see that bridge behind me? I know it's San Francisco Bridge, but we have something like that. So you need to cross that every day if you go to, for example, my school is across the bridge, so I always have to cross my use ferry. Now, in a trip, I take bus, I take the tram, and I take the ferry. So this card lets you ride like all through. And for the month, you pay 40 euros. If you can find your 40 euros, just know that you can go to school and go anywhere and survive. Now it covers Lisbon. Lisbon is 10 euros. Lisbon metropolis, outside of Lisbon, 40 euros. So like you can go anywhere outside of Lisbon, but you cannot use it in another city. Another city we have their own. Look, another province, they will have their own. So, but you can't use it on a train, like a provincial train, but you can use it in intercity Lisbon province train, which is good because once you have this, you're good. Now, they don't care if you swipe, but if police come inside bus, last man will carry you, daddy, because they will carry you and you will get down. Because once they come and you mistakenly did not swipe this card, they will check it on their list and show that you didn't swipe it. Some people will take their kids' card. They will take their kids' card and swiping their kids' card. That's how people will come. Last man, that's why we just come, carry you, see that your kids' card that you are swiping, you get down. So you also need to be wary of that. Now let's go to Norway. Then after Norway, we see the experience in Canada. Then we can move to the other topics.
Yeah, Norway is very, very interesting when it comes to transport. I don't have a car. I don't think I need a car, actually. Maybe till I start a family, then the car becomes a necessity. The buses are okay. They come on time. They're always on time. Yes.
Oh.
They're always on time. Like 10 minutes, the buses are everywhere. And they're electric buses, so not like you have electric buses. That's like within the city. And they're always on time. When I hit the buses on the weekends is very, very horrible. Saturday, Sunday is a very, very horrible time to take the bus. It's like 30 minutes, 1 hour.
Yeah, they are great.
The weekends is a horrible time to take the bus. Apart from that, the transport system is okay, very nice. And like Swan also said, you just need a transport card for your region and you're done. Like anytime, any time. Like I pay 100 euros for it for a month. So anytime, any bus within that time, within that region, I just enter and move about. The taxis are very, very expensive. Taxis are very, very expensive for the city I am. And for the inter-district travel, they are fast trains with internet. So it's just very nice. So cars here is very to own a car here is very, very expensive. Yes. And you have to deal with insurance, parking, and tax. So kudos to you. And you know, Norway is like 80% of the cars they sell in Norway is now electric cars. So that was like you enter the street now, everybody's just almost driving a Tesla everywhere. So they even use Teslas for taxi itself.
Yes, so, yes. Electric cars is okay, maybe in Norway, but for us, electricity is really high. So like even people at first, like people that bought electric cars, government give them like a discount so that they can
exactly.
But it's expensive. So normal cars are still cheaper here compared to Norway.
No, Norway, everybody's driving electric cars, unless those are like going to the mountains.
choose your city wisely and your country wisely. Now let's go to Canada. Let's see if we can still, I think Favor is still here with us. Yeah. So Mofe, what is it like in Canada? Is it like America also that you need a car?
Yes, I think similar conditions applies. Same for United
Yeah,
States.
brother.
And then, based on what Swan said earlier, that getting a car can be very cheap actually. Similar things apply here still. It's very cheap to get a car. In fact, it was amazing seeing young guys riding cars, but the truth is those insurance you have to pay, those bills. In fact, when I came here, and you need to pay for parking space. The house you rented is not having a garage, it's a very big problem. So, and even sometimes when you go out, you have the problem of parking, and most of the time you need to park, you need to pay before you can park. So at the point I get fed up even getting one because I feel why should I be stressing myself with all these things? And you may not even get a space to park your car. That's one of the most annoying things. But to be honest, their transportation system is very effective, like just like that of China. And then we have this bus card we use here, office card. So for students, it's a bit subsidized. You pay around $60 per month just to subscribe it a month. But for every other person, maybe for worker or visitors, you have to pay close to $100 just to subscribe for it. So it's good. We also have the train system, it's very effective. In fact, I use train a lot. That one still helps a lot, is helps to fast track your journey to wherever you're going to. And the bus too is very cool. Only that the traffic you have to stop, especially when you have urgent things to do. So it's always better to go through the underground. So it's very effective. So I think one other thing, their processing and what's it, you need to do some driving tests, some things like that. But as a student before, because I came from Nigeria, I have my driver's license. I can drive, but I need to use it for 6 months. After 6 months, I need to convert it to their own driver's license. So I think their system is a bit broken, and you need to pass their driving test because their system is not like that of China or like that of Nigeria that you just drive anyhow. There's a parking system here. You have to follow the order of parking. There's one way you have to follow some signs. So those are the things they try to ensure. And that's the more reason why they ask people to write the exams so that they can know how their transportation system works so that you won't get yourself into trouble. I think that's basically it. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to chip in something, and if you permit me. So regarding what Mofe said, while he was talking, I remember something that is very, very important regarding driving a car and buying or owning a car in the US. To repair motor for here, no be was how motor cheap. Maintenance go key.
Yeah, same thing here too.
It's really, really, really on the high side. I wouldn't say more than that.
Yes. Somebody said if you buy 700 euros car, you have to repair. No, not really, because here it's just because the person can't afford it anymore, so they let it go because they can use the bus car. So it's not like terribly bad car. It's just maybe old car. So here, old car, old car is still a thing. So you see like old Fiat, old cars in Nigeria that your grandpa was using, it's still sitting. So you can buy all those ones, they'll still be moving. They're just gonna move it from one place to the other. So, and when you have your money, you can go and buy 40,000 euro car. It's your own, like your expenses. All right, Australia, Favor, how was it? Now, Favor is in the capital. I saw something on Twitter yesterday that some people are thinking that Sydney and the other place is capital. Is in the capital. Canberra, what's the name of the capital? Canberra.
Yeah, Canberra.
Canberra,
Yeah. So, you want me to talk about the car? Which one? I guess so. Can you hear me?
So we're talking about transportation. How is it? Do they have bus cards? Should you buy a car?
Yeah.
Oh.
Transport. I think it depends on where. For me, I haven't spent so much time in Sydney and Melbourne, but I know what they do in like those big cities is to encourage people to like take public transport. So that's why like parking spaces are expensive. Some you might even see parking spaces of $25 per 30 minutes or per hour or $40 per hour. You understand? So imagine that you have to work like 1 or 2 hours before you can find money to park your car. You know, how much are they paying per hour? Yeah, but for Canberra, it's a little bit different because although the transport stuff is not so, it's not bad, but then if like I was speaking English. I go Tom pitching sometimes because my guys they, but then like majorly if you do hustle, you understand? If you do hustle, they no go tell you before you understand before you get car because I don't do Netherlands before and I don't get car. So I know the stress where I pass through. You understand now? Sometimes you go do shit, they finish around 12, 1 a.m. and you have to run to catch the last train. You understand? So, and then you get back during the winter, you try to get back home and you have to stay outside for like 20 minutes and all those things. So, I mean, I know say I go also for PhD. So, for me, if I'm gonna like combine my study and do well there, and I go still also, then it means I need that right. You get that kind of thing now, or else I go kill myself if I don't take. So that's the thing. But it depends on what you want. You get. So like they said, all those things are. I think what others have said is kind of applicable to this spatial. But if you go also, you know, so be that sometimes we say I go come more house for like maybe Saturday morning or something. Maybe say I will just come and go carry bag where I dey go to sleep over. I don't go come back house till like Monday. On top, na boot my stuff go day. You understand that kind of thing now? And I we can make the worst much. So it depends on what you own plan. You understand? So some people will tell you even here that you don't need car. I get lab with that will be saying they go tell me. You understand? But then I know what stress is going to bring me if I don't. You understand that? Then you have to spend 1 hour on transport from one place to the other. Obviously, you could just drive like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and then sometimes you go. Some people no go even give you job for you if you don't get car. That's the thing. You understand? For us, yeah. And then if you go do like work, we say they pay well, like this disability support stuff now. You understand? You go have to you go carry clients for inside car. Now that's your job. Now to carry them go appointments, you understand? Or because some of them don't commit crime, they don't get driver's license, or some of them maybe they now wheelchair the day. So that's your major source of income. You understand what I talk now? So you know get option now to even get car. Yeah.
So it's part of your life. It's not luxury. That's what we're all trying to say. But
Yeah.
when your life has upgraded, though, you can do luxury. But I feel like when you just arrive for your own because me, for example, now I live in Lisbon outskirts, and the buses close early, like you said. Or sometimes in the weekend they go and chill. Oh no, well, like Europeans can enjoy like 3 o'clock like this, they're out. They don't send you, they go and drink or have fun. So you will miss bus, you don't have bus to carry, so you still need a car, or you get a Didi, or you get a Uber, or any other thing. Now we're going to move to another topic, and we're going to start with some set of like guests. So we are moving to money. We're going to discuss money based on banking, based on debit and credit cards, and also how to manage your savings, things that people have done to like get money. We're going to get to jobs later, but right now we're talking about money based on how to open an account, what types of accounts are available, can students open an account, should you take a debit card, should you take a credit card, what type of cards are available? Because I got here and there's one card called Maestro, just like Union Pay. That Maestro, you don't work any other place. So those are the things that we are going to look at next. And we're going to start with Ima. I don't know if Ima is available now because it's stretching. Ima, please tell us about.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This on the topic, banking,
Yeah.
getting card, what
You
type
know,
of card.
I didn't hear what I wasn't following before. I just heard my name and I started talking. Okay, now so the card that is available is they have, if you open a bank, they will give you a card, but as a student, you're not probably gonna get a credit card. But because before you get in here and once you're here, you know, you probably have already done the block account, and we have Revolut. I'm sure you know about Revolut because it's all over Europe. Yeah. So best idea is to get a Revolut account because that serves as your credit card as well. Yeah, that's it. Opening bank account here. The moment you have registered, you've done your city registration, you can go to the bank and open your bank account. It's quite easy, no hidden charges, everything is cool. So banking is a good thing here. It's easier, it's way easier and faster than done remotely. Any other question about that?
No, we get to another question later.
Okay,
so
good.
compared to Germany, here in Portugal, you get charges on your bank account. Now, students cannot open an account unless you get a letter from your school and you go to your school's bank. So for example, when we did university those days, when your bank, we have Wema Bank. So only Wema Bank can open for you. So you have to go to your school's bank. But the good thing is that your ID card is a credit card. So they will put like 150 euros on it for you to like master how to do credit card. So you need to use it and pay it back from your account. But if you want a real account, then you need to wait for your residence card. So once you get your residence card and you have an accommodation, you can go and open a real account. But the real account, I promise you, have charges. Some banks will charge you monthly 7 euros to maintain your account, 3 euros to maintain your account. So you end up sticking to your student account or you manage it like that. Then you should probably get a credit card to build your credit score. But please don't overdo it because I know it's very interesting. But please just don't overdo it. So that's on Portugal. Let's go to Peterson. Peterson, please tell us about the banking and should you get a credit card? Should you get student loan? Let's see, what should you do?
All right. Okay. So first of all, just like to share my own experience. When I got to the States, the first thing I had to get, the first thing I had to do was to open an account. So here in US, like you can open an account just with your passport and your I-20. Like those two documents are, they are enough for you to open an account. So it's like they're enough for you to open an account. Then later on, when you get like your SSN, you can go back and upgrade that account. So that was the first thing I did when I got here. Then talking about credit card, you can okay, when I got here, so I had this misconception about credit card and credit system. Like, why should I get? Why should I spend the money that does not belong to me? Stuff like that. But later on, I realized that the US system is built on credit. Like having credit card at your disposal is something that is very good. And also like um in some areas or in some cities, like if you want to rent an apartment, the first thing they will ask you for is your credit score. If you have a good credit score, you can rent such apartment even without you making any down payments or any security deposit and the like. So like you having a good credit score is very important in US. So, and how do you get a credit score? You need your credit card. So credit system in the US is very important. So right now I have two credit cards. Although before you can get your credit card here, you need to have your social security number. And I think depending on the various cities here, um, that like depending on your school, some schools will give you documents to get your social security number immediately. While some schools will tell you like you need to have a job first. So in my own case, my school was hell bent on me securing a job first in the school before they could give me document for the social security number. So fortunately for me, I had an interview, got a job, and I got my social security number. And from there, I was able to apply for two credit system here in the US. So, and with those credit systems, sometimes I even use it to pay my house rent. Sometimes I use it to offset some bills, just to use that to build up my credit score in this country. So, like, it's something that is very important, like getting it's important and it's easy to get. Like, so that is how it is. I don't know if I've been able to answer all the questions.
Yes, you did. Thank you. I am doing it while driving. You are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody in the Americas want to chip in something for us before we go to Canada? Who has like the credit card? Which ones do you have?
Oh, okay. So in the US, it's not a must for you to get it to have credit cards, like if you don't want it, but it's good to have it so you can start building credit. And you know, the system in US is actually almost everything is built on credit, because your credit score is going to give you access to a lot of things, maybe loans, to buy a car, to do whatever. You understand? So it's good to have a credit card as long as you know how to manage your money, to manage your finances. It's, you know, that's one of the really big difference between China and the US. You know, in China, as a student, as whatever, you don't have access to any credit there. You can't even get anything from the bank. But here in the US, when you come in as a student, I mean, after you've had your SSN and all that, you can have access to credit cards. And it's good if you can manage it meticulously. If you can be meticulous with, you know, managing money, it will actually give you good credit, and you would have access to a lot of things that somebody with a bad credit does not have. So I would advise to have at most 2 credit cards that you can manage amongst. I mean, at most 2 credit cards.
Yeah, I heard that if you have like at most 2 credit cards, it's easy to like, I don't want to say it online, so you can ask me to fix it later before people will quote me. All right. I'm also gonna move to like Canada. Let's see if it's the same.
Sorry, Ellie, let me quickly say something, please.
Okay.
Concerning having 2 credit cards, you need to be careful. Like, try to space the credit card. Don't just apply for the 2 credit cards within a month, because that will affect your credit score. So, like, if you can get have like a space of maybe 2 to 3 months before applying for this second credit card, you know, because all these credit cards are linked to your SSN. So everything you do reflect on your SSN, and that's kind of.
Okay. Okay, you still with us? All right. In a few minutes, we're going to take questions, but I want to go around with the banking thing first. And after this, we take questions from what we discussed from the beginning to the end. And we have some time for other topics. All right. For Norway, is it the same banking and the UK? Anyone?
Is someone talking?
Yes, you can talk.
Okay, so banking here, I think one thing that actually amazed me was how easy it was to open an account. Like in China, it was hard work. But here, I came today. I came that day in the evening because I had cash I withdrew from the ATM. Okay, sorry, I want to go back to something. So when I was leaving China, I actually Googled for what cards could I use to withdraw money from the UK, because I didn't want to like have so much money on me. So I found out that one of my, I think Barclays Bank, HBSC, some banks, they have their branches in the UK. So, and also I had Bank of China was also in the UK. So I had Bank of China. So it made me, I was not so stressed about withdrawing money. So I left my money in my Bank of China bank account. And when I came here, I withdrew it in pounds. So that's one thing. So when I withdrew it in pounds, I wanted to, because I was like, this one I've left China, I don't want them to block my account. So I had to put my money into a UK account. So that was when I found out it was actually very easy. It was online. Just scan your BRP, scan your ID card, scan your face, voice, do a video. Finish. You have yourself a bank account. So I just scanned everything and then paid the money into my account. But one very serious thing I don't understand is it's like they're forcing people to go cashless. So one thing is that it's very hard to see deposit machines, like ATM machines, where you can go and deposit your money. So what people do, if you want to really deposit your money in cash, you go to I think is what do they call that? The MoneyGram, and then give them money and then pay them to put the money into your account. It makes no sense to me. So I was just like, when I found out, I did the first bulk of money I had, then I started holding a little bit of cash on me. So another thing is about credit. Credit is very, very important here. Like when I came here, I used to be like, oh, why are you buying things on credit? Blah, blah, blah. But it's not even a flex that you can afford something, you're paying everything down payments. You literally don't have a digital footprint here. You're supposed to consciously build a good digital footprint for yourself, especially if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a car, you need to build your credit. So there's something called Amex card. I think it's American and British Airways. Yeah, people use that one a lot, especially if you're someone that's Ajala that likes to travel. So there are people that they really like traveling. So you can use that, you can get points, you can travel and then pay for it later. Just link a direct debit to your bank card and pay for all those things later. And they also give points and give access to VIP lounges and many other things, even like train tickets and all those things like that. And there is another credit system that is for grocery shopping, like Asda, Liddy, some of these things, they have credit cards. So they let you buy groceries on credit and then you link to direct debit. It's always good. Like people say, oh, it's just 20 pounds, it's just 50 pounds. Let it be there. Keep your money and just build your credit score, as even no matter how small it is. And another thing is that you should be very, very careful that you can spend the much you can pay for. Because once you start defaulting on payments, you're having a bad credit score and they don't mark them for you. So, and some things like jobs and some other things, they also like do like hard check your credit score to see if you're bad with money. And they don't want someone coming that's bad with money and start borrowing money from people or something like that. So you have to be very, very, very careful about that. And that's just basically it. Like you can access anything as a foreigner. There's nothing like, oh yeah, why Warren? Or may or why Warren? Or like they will even be asking you, hi love, what do you want? Which one do you want? Which type do you want? I'm like, oh my God. I'm
that also did me, oh my God, because I think after I got my residence card, the first place I went was the driving school, and the lady refused that I pay in full. Like she was like, never, not do it.
They think it's crazy when you pay in full. Like I know people. I have my colleague. She still pays her school fees. I was telling her, girl, how are you paying? How are you paying your school fees on this thing? She said she pays £11 every month. That she doesn't care. I'm like, when will you finish paying £16? Some of them, they know how to hack the system. They're like, and sometimes, if you have a bursary or if you have a loan or something, and then if you don't earn over this amount of money, they won't want to take more money from you, and they can waive it for you so that you're not actually climbing. So some of them, they intentionally do not climb up the ladder. They don't want responsibility. They don't want to start earning 40. It's only immigrant. I want to earn £50,000. I want to earn £80,000. They know that the more you earn, the more tax you get, the more they ask you to pay back your boss. This thing. So what they just do, they just remain in their humble position and wait it out for 5 years, and then they get all their loans, bursary, everything waived for them. So they don't. You see some of them. They if you tell you as an immigrant, you're working hard to get promotion. They don't want promotion. They just want to work and go home. They don't want all those things. So it's very, very like they'll tell you, see, look at how much, because there's me and my friend, we worked it out on the calculator. Like if you earn 50k pounds a year, this is how much they're going to take from your this. And it makes no sense because like they're taking a whole week of your pay, and that means you're working for free for this thing. I even see them, it's only immigrants that take overtime. They work their normal time. They just go home because they know any other thing they're working overtime is more tax. It's just like, I feel like it's like punishing hardworking people. But these people, if they see you working hard, be like, oh, sorry. Sometimes you work so much overtime and you get tax that's like cut your pay for 2 days. I means that you work free for 2 days if you look at the tax. So they don't even want stress. They don't want to work that much. They just want to stay where they are and get their shit waived for them. And then, so.
All right. All
Okay,
right.
continue with what for West One stuff. You know, there's a very interesting thing I found out about retirement age for nurses in Norway. It's 55 years.
Oh.
Once you're a nurse, once you're 55, you have to retire because of all the stress over the years. They ask you to retire.
They ask you to retire.
They ask you to retire. They ask you to retire. You have been stressed. You should go and enjoy. You should go and enjoy the rest of your life. So speaking of banking, it took me 3 months to open an account here in Norway. Yes, and I don't know because I'm speaking from a working experience. I don't know for students. So, but you have to have the residence card first, which has a D number for you to get to apply for them. So it took me like 3 months. And when I went to the bank, they're very, very chilled. They'll tell you, don't worry, your money is there, don't worry. Like, there's no stress about it. And when I had it, okay, and also to credit too, definitely, you have to get credit. And I was advised that at least you just spend with your credit card. Like if you're going to buy, you spend with your credit card and replace the money back again to help build yourself. So I think that is about it though. Yep.
All right, so we're going to ask questions on a break. We're asking questions. Anyone can answer. Anybody that has the experience or know what it is can answer, please. I don't know, we've spent 2 hours just like that. So I'm sure people are tired, but if you're not tired, let us know because we still have like some topics to talk about, like insurance, hospital, and I think those are the main things. And you can ask questions about how to get there. So if you can wait. So now we take like a 5-minute break to ask questions. Anybody?
Yeah, I want to say that if anybody's interested in coming to San Francisco, please let me know.
Yeah.
I think there are like 2 people coming already. They've already got their visa from China.
Woo! And I didn't tell us anything in the group. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. So please link up. Somebody was saying in the comment section that they wanted to ask a question about loans in the US. So please, you can talk to Olayemi and you can link up with him. Any other person, if you're coming to Lisbon, okay, now I did here for you. Come.
I want to ask Olayemi a question. Whether he still uses the same WeChat he used to have in China.
Sorry, please, can you come again?
I said, do you still use the same WeChat you used to have in China?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I go hit you up.
All right.
Yeah, WeChat did not change. I didn't change the location. For me, I didn't change the location of my Alipay and my WeChat, so I still use it. And because I use the card, I still use the card. Then phone numbers for the China phone. I roamed it from China because I was still getting messages. If you use Bank of China app, you still need messages to like transfer money and things like that. So SIM cards from China, please roam it for a few or 2 months if you want, except you don't want anything to do with China again. And you decide to say, okay, bye-bye, then you can leave it. Yeah. Then, yes?
No, I was saying I wanted to talk about healthcare. That's one is the one that touched me most.
So we're going to move to healthcare. Do we still have any other question before we move to healthcare and jobs? Those are the last 2.
Okay.
Someone is asking question in the comment section.
On what?
Hello?
How can we get sponsored visa jobs for US and Canada? We get them soon. Please, America and Canada people, please take note. Somebody said, now everyone in the US they use car. Now turn car to pure water. Yes, it's pure water. It's more because you need it. They don't have good transport system. Somebody said, I would like to come to San Francisco. Can a new student get a loan without a resident of China? Isabella, what country?
Hello? Are you there?
Yes.
Hello?
Emmanuel.
These people wait there for Canada, for be Australia. I don't know whether it's okay for you guys to discuss my exchange program there, because it's compulsory for me to do exchange program, and I chose France before, but they hear me.
You have to talk to them now
So I beg, let them link me up with them. Ejo.
Yeah, it's Favor now. Just text Favor because it's busy now. You can text Mufe anytime.
Who day for who day for Canada?
Mufe now.
Okay. I go ask them.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and what kind of business can one do in Portugal as a student? My sister. First, you need to get your residence card if you want to do anything legal, because that is what you can use to register your business. Because I wouldn't say you should do business that is not registered. Now, I would say don't try to centralize your business to just be Black people, because Black people have their own place, their own location where everybody is. So if you want to do business here in this one, I'm just telling to one particular race, like there's going to be difficult too, or maybe in Porto, because you need to find where the Black people are if your business is Black people business. Now, and for me, I will always advise to register your business. I'm sure it's very easy to do, because if you don't register, what I see with African restaurants, especially, is that most African restaurants are probably not registered. So they'll be doing things inside Koro. So you have to enter the place and go downstairs to one disgusting place to eat. It doesn't make sense. So probably because maybe they are registered as a shop, they're not registered as a restaurant. So if you register your business, my dear, the floor is yours to do anything. They even wanted to bring business so I can employ their people. So why not? So you can do business as a student, but please, I will always advise you to register your business, get your residence card. Please don't think that you want to come immediately and start selling things. I don't know. But just get there, settle down then. The 26 countries will be yours when you have your permit. All right. So do we still have any more questions? Any information about bringing people or members for married person? How difficult is it? All right. So let's kick off this next section with that question. And also, if you can answer some questions, please help us type answers. So we start with Favor. Favor, please, is it possible for you to be able to talk? We're looking at any information about bringing your partners or your family as a student or as a...
Yeah, like for Australia, I think it's family friendly. So one, it depends on your situation. If you are coming on a self-sponsorship, then that's a different situation at all. And I think it's always advisable that you don't call with your family when you're coming at first. You apply alone, because I think I've seen cases of people that they denied because they are coming with their family. And most importantly, like when you have kids, like they know the joke with their kids, you understand? So how do you solve that? You have to be able to your kids have to have the school they are going. You get that kind of thing. And then because you are not coming with PR, so it's not like the government is responsible for your kids. So you can't just bring them here without having that plan, having a school that has accepted them. So if you're coming on self-sponsorship, then it's not always advisable, at least from what I've known, not to come with your family at first. What people do is that they get there, once they get there and settle down, then they invite their family, and then they would have also balanced and get finances. But then if you're calling a scholarship, it's always advisable that you apply together with your family while you're coming. And they will grant you. In fact, it doesn't even take long. Sometimes maybe 2 months or 3 months. So, but if you have scholarship or free scholarship, like apply together and everything will be fine. That's all. And your spouse, I think, also has you say like access to work freely. You understand? Like China, where they can't work, but you can also the spouse can work here without any restriction. I can even be supporting while you're studying, which is always good. So you can focus on your study while the other person actually works. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go to Canada. Mufe, please. How easy is it to bring your wife, your husband, your children, your dependents to Canada these days as a student? Like, what is really on ground? Not the one on Twitter. Like, what is the latest?
Yeah, in Canada, I think it's very easy. I think the system is the same for all those countries, especially for North Americans like United States. But I think for North America, it's a bit difficult. For USA, it's a bit difficult. But for Canada, I think it's very flexible. Like take for instance, when I applied for my wife, it was very easy, very flexible. Like if I wasn't even really expecting the turnout, it was so smooth compared to the news, everything I've had. But basically, based on what Favor mentioned earlier, even with your scholarship, it is still possible for you to be refused. I'm a typical example. Like you all know, like I applied, I got the opportunity while I was in China, and I applied for my visa as a student. Though I wasn't married then, I was single, so I applied then to come to Canada from China. I was refused 2 times, and the reasons was the same thing. So I had to return back to Nigeria to reapply for my visa. So that was when I was granted. So the fear, the fear of, I applied alone, even with my funding and even with my personal funding, I was still refused. But basically what I learned through this process is that the reason they were refusing me the visa while I was in China is because of the fact that I wasn't in my country of nationality at the time of application. So most people who contact me, who contacted me then, I always advise them, if you can go back home, please go back home, because it's enough assurance for them. It's enough home ties for them. It's enough, what's it called? It's enough assurance, like I said, that you are going to return back home after your study. Because when I finished my master's in China, I didn't open up to them what I was doing in China. Then they were like, what is this guy doing? So I had to return back home. So that was when it was approved. So basically, nothing was wrong with my application. The funding was okay. They just want to see the assurance that you will go back home after you study. And then to bring your family is very easy. Like a student, I'm doing my PhD. So it's easy for you to tell them that I just got married, or I got married, I have a kid. So it's difficult for me to leave my family for 4 years, while studying. So they also understand, and Canada, for what it is, they always respect that area. When you have a family, they don't joke with it. So once you can express yourself better in your letter of explanation, I think it is very easy. And then in the part of funding, it is also important that you show that you are capable to, take for instance, your spouse, you need to show that you are able to, you have some financial capacity to take care of her while she's here, so that she will not be a financial burden to you. Although they also know that when he or she arrives, they are going to work, it's fine. But they also need you to show that, yes, you are stable before you can bring other people around. And for every other members of the family, talk of your extended family, like your parents. If you want to bring them, it's also flexible. You can apply for a visitor's visa for them. They also acknowledge that too, so they can always come. In fact, there's another, what's it called? Canada make it very easy. They also announced something recently that makes it the immigration system very easy and compared to other places. So let me just blow a little trumpet to you guys. I think I will tip you guys to come to Canada. Canada still offers the best immigration process. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that pure info that is unadulterated. Now, so I will pause for some questions because people are eager to hear the answers, especially from USA folks. Now, please, over to you guys. They said, first they said, let me find question. How can we get sponsored? No, okay, I'll get to that one later. Isabella asked that can a new student get a loan without a resident co-signer?
Yeah, can I say something about that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, it's possible. You mean like student loan, right?
Yes.
Yes, I'm actually currently on student loan and Empower loan. So the thing there is when you apply Empower, you don't need a cosigner. Though there are other organizations that requires a cosigner, and that's the reason why I think Empower rate is quite a little bit high. I think it's around between 11 to 12% rate. So I don't know how it is calculated, but for example, my first year is like $30,000, and I'm actually going to pay back almost $60,000 within 10 years.
So currently I'm paying like $300 every month. So I don't want to take for the second year. So that's why you may likely want to take advantage of maybe Form A. So if you work some money, you can send it to Nigeria in Naira and apply Form A maybe 4 to 5 months before school resumption, and it's likely you're gonna get it, and that will save you a lot of money. So that's what I'm planning for the second year. Yeah. So regarding the Empower application, I think it's quite easy, but you need to get somebody to stand as a sponsor for you somehow. For example, they only give like $50,000 for example, and if your tuition fee or maybe your cost of everything is like around 70 or so for the whole 2 years, they may be wanting you to give them a document or evidence that you can actually take care of the remaining 20 if they give you 50. So either you get a sponsor or you use your own account or something, a proof of fund. So all those documents, your transcripts and everything, your admission. So I think the process is not really that difficult. So, but it's possible. And there's also Prodigy as well. Prodigy also give international students without a cosigner.
All right. Okay, so for the US question, we have another one. How can someone stay back in the USA without the marriage route? Like for art students and for science, because I know STEM people, they have like some months or years to stay behind legally, but what about humanities and management and all of that?
So you see, when you are an art student and you somehow want to stay back in the US, you have to be strategic, because we would understand that the US has structured their education system such that it sort of favors the STEM people, right? So that is why, while maybe undertaking rather your art courses, it's best to try as much as possible to bring in a bit of STEM into it, like taking those data science courses and all of that. So, and why I'm saying that is because the reality is that they don't have something on ground for those in that area, but you can always change your path by doing data, whatever it is that has a bit of STEM in it. And if you are, because of your competence, be able to get a job or something that is ready to file for you, then you've just hit a jackpot. So the best advice I can give to such a person is that while you're undertaking your art course and you are beginning to see that at the end of this thing, you probably would not have the option of staying, try as much as possible to diversify into data science, coding or something, and get proficient in it and seek for a job. Usually in the States, there's no, I don't forget English when I want to talk. They don't discriminate. As long you are good, you are good. If they want you, they're gonna file for you and let you stay. It's as simple as that. So that is the best route. And before I forgot, I wanted to give a chip on what Mofe said earlier regarding, was it Mofe or Favor, regarding marriage and bringing people in. Well, in the US now, I don't know, maybe everybody knows, if you have your wife or whatever come join you in the US now, the dependents can't work in the US. Yes, that started in Trump era. Dependents cannot work in the US now. So that's that. Well, legally, that's what
it's taking too long these days, like 2 to 3 years. So
what I mean is legally. If you happen to be in the big cities like, say, Boston, Chicago, Illinois, and the likes like that, we have, just because we're online on that G and all of that goes on, but legally you cannot work as a dependent F2 person in the US, and that actually was stopped by Trump, because during the Trump era that came on. But in Canada, you are free as well. You are very, very much free to do that. I think Dodo wants to say something.
Not just working alone. Even you cannot even go to school as F2. So it's crazy here in the US.
You can't go to school as a dependent?
Yeah, you can't. So you have to go back to your country, change your visa status, then come back again before you can go to school.
All the way to Canada, you would have like America. Let's take your way to Canada because so imagine that. Imagine nobody will tell you this on Twitter. You not hear it. Okay, we're still on
And you know,
Yeah, just to add as well, you can bring your spouse and your spouse can work, but the process is actually really, it's also a little bit difficult for students. So anyone, I would always say if you marry someone, your goals should really align and the person should be intelligent enough to be able to get in through the education route as well. It's the best thing that both of you can do for yourselves. Because if you go in and you're thinking about bringing the person via, except it's Canada, for instance, just like, because I have a friend who has succeeded in that. So if you don't marry and do not apply, if you never do official son, I don't marry, I think the best route would be for both of you to try school at the same time, even here. Yeah, thank you.
So I saw a comment just now by US Odogu. All these things are, there's something about the US, and we have to give it to them. And even the UK as well. When they make some policies and they're beginning to say that it doesn't favor them, they actually change it. The possibility that will be changed in the next administration or whatsoever. I mean, there are actually people advocating for that why should you bring in people and then they are on the stipend for scholarship and then you expect the dependent, their wives not to work. I mean, it's just gonna like make people less productive because they can have too much burden on them. You're trying to fend for yourself, fend for your wife, fend for your daughter, and then you're the only one paying the bill. So it doesn't actually fit into their own system as well of where you have equality, where the man and woman can work and all of that. So there are still talks on that way to probably kind of like look at that policy and see if it's good or not. So, but for now, that's how it is. Your dependents cannot work.
Yeah.
Though I read one this thing recently that Trump said when he is really elected as the president, maybe next year, that he's going to ban like Nigerians and other countries that have kids here, and the kid will have outright citizenship.
They're always banning us.
Yeah, it's just, for example, now if you have your kid here, that's automatic citizen. He said when he becomes the president again, that he's gonna stop that. So that's also another thing that is ongoing currently.
Give your wife belly quickly. All of you that are married, quickly give them belly calculated so that before that man comes in. All right. So somebody wants to ask something. Precious, I think.
Yeah. Someone asked a question about people in art or humanities willing to stay back in the US. I don't know if I can add this, chip in this. There is this employment-based national interest waiver program that's been on. I feel like aside from you waiting for your employer to file kind of H-1B visa for you before you can stay in the US after the program, you can also file self-petition to get your green card through this employment-based national interest waiver. There are some caveats to this because like King have said, like most programs are really like preferred. But notwithstanding, if you're in art or humanities, you can still petition to get your green card and you have the opportunity to work like every other person in the US. So with the EB2NIW program, you can look for some attorneys or you can actually self-petition yourself. You can do it yourself and filing for the green. By the time you finish your program, then you can have your green card and live legally in the US. For the NIW program, it's always good for you to have an advanced degree, your master's degree, at least master's degree, and also have some kind of work experience for you to apply for that. So if you're in art or humanities, I feel like you can also try out this program for you to be able to legally stay in the US after your program. Yeah.
I mean, as a person, I've never really felt like, even if I'm in the arts, I have no chance. I've never really felt that. But like, it depends on the way you want to navigate your art and everything. Although I remember doing like interviews in like with professors from USA PhD interview, they were telling me that maybe I should go to Europe. You can't get a job. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, off I go. So just plan yourself very well and see other options, because we can't even lie. Everything is going to get into computer way. So just look at that art course and find the computer, whatever technology related to it, and start building yourself on it. You can really do it, except you are in the art entertainment, and there's always need for entertainers. Robots will replace that, but not everything. You still need to see human interactions. So, so do we still have any more questions? Please, what if Asylum as well works here? Oh yes, even here, I've seen a Nigerian with refugee visa, and the person is working, and the person is living their normal life. But what I heard is that they have to renew their permits every 6 months. I mean, that is giving me China vibes. I don't want to ever go through that again. So,
Angela, do you mind if I add to this? For those in social science or art or humanities, even if you are a teacher, if you've been teaching for 5 years, you can still apply for your green card.
Yeah.
Irrespective of your occupation, at least if you have that work experience, you can put in your petition and file for this program. If you are willing,
yes,
in the US, so like we shouldn't leave
just navigate yourself, please.
Hello, Annie. I think someone
Yes.
is asking a question here that in Canada, can you with visitors visa begin searching for jobs? Unfortunately, I think you can't work as a visitor. That I know for sure. You cannot. And then once you come to Canada as a visitor, I think you might be given 2 years, 3 years. But I think you can look for work right now based on the new immigration system that has been announced. But I don't know if you can apply for the visa within Canada. Probably you have to go back home. But because from what I know, from knowledge of visitors visa, I know once you come here, you might be given 2, 3 years visa, but you can't stay the whole 3 years at once. You have to spend 6 months and then go back home and then return back to Canada. So that's how, because I have a very close friend that is on this visa currently. The husband is on the visa and he comes and he goes like that. So, but I think now you can look for job, but the fact that you can apply within Canada, I'm not sure. Perhaps you have to go back, but it's still the same thing. But basically, once you're in Canada, you can look for job. And if you are able to secure an employer that is willing to give you work, whatever it is, then you can enter into the pool and then start your application, because that actually boosts your score. So I think I've answered that. There's some other questions, I don't know.
Please, I wanted to talk about, are you done?
Okay, I'm done, you can go ahead.
Is my phone freezing? Oh, I wanted to talk about something. Mofe, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, I think people, once they heard about UK dependent, this thing, everybody was, oh, no more UK, no more UK. Nigerians, why do you guys only want to spend money on studying? Why? There are so many other visa routes. There's one called Global Talent Visa, where you get from...
We don't have talent, you go.
No, you see all those certifications, like the China people will give you this one for within this one for you can put it together and apply. Indians are doing it. Pakistanis are doing it. I don't know why we can't even do so. Do you know, even musicians, ordinary musicians, they'll feature techno, they'll feature flavor, they'll make a poster, they'll find a music agency, recording agency to nominate them, and they will go. Who said UK visas are hard? Let me tell you, UK visa, no hard reach Canada visa. They will not even make you wait. It's not even as hard as UK they don't even reach 6 months. You already know where you stand. Are you going or you're not going? It's not hard. They don't make you wait, okay? But another thing is, if you can't bring in dependence on student visa, you can bring in dependence on work visa. There are so many IT companies that are hiring. NHS is always hiring, IT, people are just like healthcare. I'm like, is your head for carrying load?
Trust me, don't say that healthcare thing that they always drag.
It's all like, you can never see Chinese people working healthcare. It's not because they are so precious or anything. They go through other routes. They go through other. Another thing is, if you're not living in Nigeria, it even makes it easier. It even makes it more legit. You understand? You can find a job, so long as you have reference that is international reference, like somebody's referring you from China, referring you from Australia, and it's not Nigerian reference. They know that it's legit. So it's not always about students. You must not study. Try and find a job. Go to Global Talent Visa. There are so many other visa strategies, so many others. Even scholarships. You see Chinese people that they don't even speak English. They don't even speak English at all, but they have these visas. Even there are some of them that there's one they do that they open shops. Like if you invest some money and open a store, some of these Pakistani people, they open one roadside store and be selling only drinks and cigarettes and use the store to bring all their whole family members. They are not even studying. They're not paying money. Okay? So the only thing is that I just think Nigerians just like study, or I don't know. It's not hard. They are Nigerian. The only thing, another thing is that they don't like to talk about it so openly. There are people I know that are on Global Talent Visa. Normal teachers, maybe they did something, their students won in one competition, and they featured in the competition and said that they were the ones that took the students, that coached the students, and then the school nominates them. They will just go on Global Talents. There are people that, like, even all those certificates you win in China, that if you win, they'll give you all this. Bring all of them together is something. Look for a school or your job to nominate you, and then you apply for it. It's even 5 years straight. So
besides all this, thank you, Swan, thank you. But I want us to please also share this link. If you see talent visa, global this, India, they're always saying they are getting all these things. I don't have their computer whining. So please, if you have all these links, let us share. Don't say where it's there, but I can't find it. That's how people are telling me, oh, there's remote job, lies upon lies upon lies. There are remote jobs, but most of them are in the United States, and they want you to be on their, like, you need to have like all the requirements, and you have to be in that location for even hybrid or even remote. So please be careful of all those things. So if you have the link, please send it and let us know that, okay, this is the real thing. This is what people are doing. And also, somebody asked a question about Germany and Australia. This person, 6636, read me notes. Please write your question again, please.
Hey, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
You said what?
Write your question again. I've sent you a message thing because your question is a bit.
Okay, my question is about.
Hello.
Please.
Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Reduce the sound from your background.
There is no sound here.
Okay,
I'm just in my school lobby. Okay. The question is the Australia and Germany distance scholarship, like is there any easier way to get a full funded scholarship in the from the two countries, or which one would be better? That's my question.
Germany and
Australia.
Australia. Okay. So the Australia person in charge of Australia already left. He has a flight to catch, and it's like 12, like almost 1 a.m. where he is. So I think he already left. But for Germany, where is Ima? Ima. Ima too, I guess is busy because we've been here for 2 hours plus now. So are you in the WeChat group? Please, are you in the WeChat group?
Yes, I mean.
Please just text Ima now. Ima, they're asking you, is there scholarship? How to get it? This we've on Ima's head, don't say Wahala. We can't hear you. Yeah, somebody said there are fully funded opportunities in Australia. Okay. There are fully funded opportunities in Australia. Somebody said that in the comment section. I can't hear Ima, but please, you can add in. Is one with violence something in the group? Please, you can add in or you tag him in the group. It will help you. Okay. So I'm also, so and this your UK other routes, I'm also interested because like this PhD is doing me, I'm not the one doing it. So tell me how easy it is. All right. Okay, so we have the last one, we focus on healthcare. How to like get yours, because I know we don't really like to think about health because we have Jesus. But
can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Germany gave many scholarships, but no day they wait for scholarship. Why? Because now free education for most schools, except you go for private university. If you go for Hochschule or technical university, you go get you know go pay school fees. You go only pay semester fee. Yeah, and the good thing is that once you're here, you can easily get any available scholarship. And say you want to do PhD, they look for PhD people well. And now people waiting inside. There are people know they like to do PhD, and people who even they here don't want to PhD, just want to go work straight because work day. Yeah. So if you want to come here, you feel consider for Australia.
So from what I'm noticing now, even with this Europe, is that these blue collar people, they are cashing out more than white collar, because I think there's a provision for them, all those carpenters, plumbers, all those people that want to fix something in your house, one window, 300 euros, any more than people that have gone to all the schools in this world. So yes. All right. Let's talk about health. But before we talk about health, we're going to have just one comment on which one is the fastest to get citizenship. I know that is the goal. Let's talk about that. In essence, from what you know, which one is the fastest to get citizenship in the legal way? I'm not talking about any other way. So
it will be Canada now.
It will be Canada. Okay.
Canada is it. Like I've told you guys before, it's Canada. So
yes, we heard it's Canada, yes, but not everybody will end up in Canada as we are looking at this thing. So so let's hear from the Americans first. How many years? I think they're all busy. The Americans they're in the midday, so I think they're all busy now. You Swan, what is the way in the UK?
Yeah, can I say something now?
Yeah.
Okay, King, you wanna go first?
No, you talk. I just want to pick something first.
I think UK is like 10 years 10 years total. Like if you stay legally for 10 years. Hello?
Yeah,
I think
we
my phone
can
is
hear
frozen.
you. We can hear you. Just your video is frozen. All right. Germany, how many years?
Some
Because
people say now 5 years, but the one where I did very sure we say 8 years you will get them.
Yes, because I see your people here. They've left Germany to come to Portugal. Portugal is actually 4 to 5 years. But I mean, it's getting crazier these days because there's a lot of like people from South Asia. They are here. Forget
those people, they here.
So it's like, and the language is not the problem, because in months you can literally speak Portuguese, because Portuguese people will greet you. They want to they greet more than Yoruba people. So just know how that. So that one is easy to learn. Not like somebody said 3 years for Germany if you're working, but it's not true. It's not true.
No. That one on YouTube they tell you Germany is it's 8 years compulsory, but I hear say people they get 5 years.
Please, I don't
Nobody don't get that for 3 years, so maybe they no confuse you.
No, UK is like if you stay 5 years on your work visa, you get permanent residency. Right? Then if you stay a total of 10 years legally, you can file for citizenship, because some people come, they do
It's Liverpool internet today. We go here now. All right. What about Norway?
Okay. For Norway, 3 years working visa, you're eligible for PR.
Wow.
So I'm done one, remaining 2.
Yay.
For those doing PhD, once you finish your PhD, which is 3 years, you already have a permanent residence.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice.
Like what I want to tell people is that yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
No way.
Excuse me, what country is that?
No
way.
No way.
Okay.
And please,
Yeah.
please, let's know.
Yeah, no. Within 6 years, you're already a citizen.
No be small thing, no.
And please, no way Sweden and Finland and all those countries, they are not America's mates too. These people, they are not your mates. Please.
And they are speaking good
They are
English.
not your mates, anything.
Yep.
Special people. So please, if you are still sitting down, waiting for America, why you can go to Norway and collect pali and move to America like a correct person.
Of course.
So
Visa free.
For US actually, I think the most thing people first consider is the green card. So the green card is the first thing people pursue. And just like Precious said the other time, the NIW aspect, I've seen someone who less than 1 year, we were in China together. He has got his green card with his family all together. Yeah. And also sometimes it can take up to like 3 years. So I don't think there's a specific number of years that
It's case dependent.
Yeah, so it is just based on head, and you just put in the application. And there's also the H1B aspect. The H1B aspect is like when you graduate and your employer actually file green card for you, like work visa for you. So the employer needs actually to pay like almost $20,000 for that. You're not the one to pay it. So, but that's the reason why most employers always avoid this aspect of international students or something. So they just want somebody who already have a green card to come and work with them. But if any employer is interested in you and they have to file for that H1B, then sometimes it takes like about 2 to 3 years as well for you to get your green card.
Now, I need to chip something in regarding the H1B visa that Olayemi just finished talking about. Am I communicating? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you see the H1B visa, even if you have an employer that wants to file for you, are you following? The problem there is that the H1B is a raffle thing. It's not about maybe your eligibility or whatsoever. If you find an employer and they agree to file for you, that's the number one success. Is good. And every year you have about 200,000 applicants of H1B, and they are only going to take about 50-something thousand. And the 50-something thousand is not by reviewing applicants. They are going to do raffle tickets. Original Jenny. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know somebody, my what do you call it? My housemate got a job, got H1B, a company that wants to file H1B for him. But the problem now is that he applied it and they didn't pick it because it's all on raffle. It's not like they have to review your application. No. They put the applicants together. As long as the company says they want you, then they believe that that's the first thing. So they put everything together and then they do raffle. Whichever comes out is the one. I have seen somebody that did it 3 times and still didn't get it. So that's the problem with H1B. Getting a job that wants to file for you is good, but at the same time, it has to do with your luck.
All right. So you see that. And for PhD in Europe, for example, when I went to get my residency, the lady asked me that, why do you have 3 years? Because my program is actually 3 years. The lady said, why do you have 3 years? Why not 5 years? I would have just given you 5 years. And if my course was 5 years and she gave me 5 years residence, I just walls into passport, because you can either choose a passport or you choose a PR. Of course, I'm in Nigeria. I want the other one. So just choose wisely, though, but do the research. So if Pali is your aim, focus. If getting work or hustle is your aim, it's like America is calling you, but focus.
And Madam Annie, you see, there's just too many information that we can, that we want to pass across that oftentimes we forget. I just remembered again when you said something now. I think the only H1B that is very, very sure is if you get employment in a university, in an academic institution in the United States. That one I think is automatic. But if you get a job with another company, one other company elsewhere, it's raffle. But if the university files for you, university of whatever files for you, I think you're gonna get it. That's what the information I've gotten so far. So I think also if you're in healthcare sector too, like the H1B is very sure, like they don't joke with that. So if you're in the healthcare sector too, sure they're looking for you. Just start pack your things and start coming to the US.
Isabella,
Like healthcare is also take care. They're looking for you guys. So I wish I can still change back to healthcare stuff.
So you see, so nurses, all those healthcare guys. I mean, Canada is
Which country?
The easiest one, but
US,
options.
Land of the Kings.
Yeah, Canada is the easiest one. So that's it. Also, let's talk about like healthcare. Let's move to healthcare and mental health. Oh yeah, let's do that one before we round it off. So like each guest is gonna tell us like how they felt mentally after leaving China and what are the hospital options that if you need care, what are the things you can go through. So first, I will start first. I'm only 4 months. Before I left China, I thought that maybe when I leave China, I'm going to need shrink immediately. That if I need to reset my brain immediately, because that China messed my head. So, but when I got here, the one thing I would vouch on, I can take it to the bank, Portuguese people are nice. Like, they are nice. They are greeting you, they are really greeting you. None of those Chinese fake greeting, like your colleague will be greeting you at work, or you will not even answer you. Or maybe in Sweden and Code, where they don't even greet at all, they don't talk to each other. But here, they greet. That my neighbor in front of my house is one Baba like this. He'll be knocking and trying to speak French to me. He thinks I'm from all this African French country. He wants to talk, wants to gist. If you go to the bus, somebody will greet you. So I think for the first week for me, what made me cry, I tell my friends, I actually cried because people were saying, hello, hi, how are you? They are hugging you, they're giving you the 2 kisses on the cheeks. I was like, I felt welcomed. That for me was the point of my healing from this whole like China experience. So like the trouble of my mental health went down. I was really like, okay, I think I chose it right if I'm choosing people because they're really helpful. I remember one day I was carrying stuff and the Indian driver told me that somebody was going to help me carry it. I said, what do you mean? Immediately I dropped from the table like this. The next person that saw me actually picked up that box, carried it upstairs to my door. So I was like, I don't even know you before, though you have to be careful with that, you know? So let's talk about mental health and how to get hospital support. Here, you need social security number, like the SNS number. You need to get that registered at your own hospital. But then getting an appointment is really hard. For example, yesterday I was sick. I wanted to go to the hospital in an emergency. Public hospital, they didn't have anything open for me till like September appointment. So I still had to go to the private hospital. So you also need to think about paying that much money. But it's not like the United States where their ambulance money want to kill them. No. At the end of the day, maybe I only spent 80 euros. But if I had insurance, maybe I would have spent less money, you know? So I'm still thinking about what insurance is best for me, even though I have the public government insurance, which is also cool. Sometimes you can use to buy medicine and it's okay. All right. So let's go to other countries. We're going to start with, I think Ima is leaving. Ima, before you go, how did you feel? Let's talk about how did you feel when you got to Germany? How is your mental health? What is the hospital system like?
Okay. So I felt it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a good experience, better than China. Of course, if you've traveled, definitely you're going to feel at ease more. And there's a little bit of racism, but not as much as China. And you have to be careful with your insurance thing because I almost did not get my insurance, claims. But if you have any issues, that has to do with money or claims, and you know your rights and you do the right thing, follow them through. They will pay you the money. If you, especially if you threaten them the right way with all this, there's small law, they will respond to you. That's good. So again, mental health in Germany, it's really okay. The only thing you may have to battle with is the language, which everybody speaks English anyway. They will just pretend they don't. And it's I don't understand the way that my brother Raphael can say, I don't understand why it's still cold. Um, if you're coming, just know that if you're buying shorts like me, you only prepare for that for 3 months, because the rest of the weather is either it's extremely cold or it's just somewhere closer to cold. And you can never have any time to be completely, free. Like, it's a good place. I wish anyone coming good luck. Only thing you battle with is the language, which could be a little bit restrictive for you. Police are not disturbing. Okay, that's Portugal. Police they don't disturb here. And nightlife here is not as good as China. So if you want to club, if you love clubbing, do all the clubbing in China, you're probably not gonna have that much fun here again. Nothing is free here. Everything is paid for and very expensive as well. And the two they fine person, if you lose guard, they don't collect fine. I don't get like fine will make me close my my free ride. I go park they say I no park where. Now bicycle way I dey enjoy free ride. They say I no park where. They say they won't be me. I say I would not serious. So look am well. Yeah, that money thing, that fine thing, say things expensive. There was something important I wanted to say, but just it's not bad. It's still not as it's a socialist. I be people they be now they share everything for their community. So tax they very high as well. As they work they collect, but you can still get your tax returns. To cut everything short, it's good to come. You fit survive for here. That's the important thing. But if you fit go but if you fit go Canada, if your muscle reach go Canada, go Canada.
Yeah.
If your muscle reach go Australia.
Yeah.
If your muscle reach
Your
go
muscle
Australia,
cannot carry another language. Please don't do it. If somebody is advising you to come, don't do it. Come by yourself. So that when something holds you, you say, I was one that chose this. I'm going to please don't follow.
Okay. I have a question about Germany. That's a general question. Is it true that they import water there?
Hey, Germany has the best water. Which one? Not tap water with the drink. Oh. No, they don't like
yeah, water is not good.
Water is good.
Drinking tap water.
Now tap water with the drink here. Their tap water is very, 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 very good. So priority and make una no go USA, except you don't plan yourself well. USA now place where we say if you live. From what I hear from my guys, if you live life where you not be your life. But I wish I was there.
But everywhere you want to go, please, everywhere you want to go, just hold your 2 chairs and go there on yourself. Because if you say you are following somebody, follow, well, okay, you hear it.
I don't follow person, it will kill you. But Europe generally good though. Voila, I not go lie.
Europe is nice.
Really nice. Maybe because I did here, but like imagine and your life you come my side now almost free of charge. I think go in your last side almost free of charge. Go Raphael side.
You be able to do right share. If you do right share, you reach the way. That's how good it is. So I mean
don't have to watch what we say. They don't do free thing here. Say your friend call you say Mona come out, you call her to say also free. Say they go do it. When you reach to pay, you go come out and give you. Say what they want.
Massively laugh, yeah.
No matter who, even if that person where you are at the chop for the same place, they stay for the same house. Once they invite you to go and carry your money, he go ask you for the money. Everybody they split money. What husband and wife?
The same thing for yourself.
So please, all right. So any other person wants to tell us about their mental health and their the hospital life there and all that.
Okay, I am very, very happy.
People laughing.
I'm very, very happy. And please leave the someone was asking about how tough is the language environment in Norway. Like people they speak English here well. Like you yourself get even confused.
You confused with that accent. Like
yes, the grammar is on a different level. And for healthcare in Norway is top notch. Like it's on top there. I think it's one of the best brackets in the world.
Wow.
Like in Norway here, you can't die because you don't have money to pay for something. Like I had a surgery recently. I never see the bill. Like I saw specialists like everything, but they never still give me the bill. I don't know what's in the bill be. Like they don't care about the money, they go treat you. They don't care about the money, they go treat you. Like one master student lady came to Norway here. She gave birth. They give her, I think, like $9,000 for giving birth. Like this is someone that is not on a resident, they're just master students. So if it's healthcare in Norway, it is incredibly good, like very good. You don't have any problem, like you don't have money, just enter the hospital there. Tell them, show them your card, you're good to go. Then what again?
I beg, no speak for US.
So US
don't be sick in the US. So don't even call
Don't sick for Canada too. Same with Canada. Don't come and sick here. I will tell you.
Are you serious? Me, I think here I collect profit for my sickness money. I collect profit on top.
I think in the US.
You know the amount they pay for insurance for one semester.
You know how much
insurance for year is $2,200.
Sorry.
My insurance is 89 euros or something per month. So
yeah,
but it's good.
And for the kids too, I had to quite the kids are also paid monthly if you have kids here. So they will pay you to give birth.
89 euros. That means I stop complaining. I need to get my insurance.
After my semester, I wanted to go and meet them. I didn't see go. Make not give me my money back.
But if you go sick here, just call them. They'll just come pick you. Nobody they charge you. And later you go see the bill. They no go charge you. Say okay, pay here before you. Nobody told that thing. Now later.
So it depends on your insurance company too now, because my Vista they use. So my Vista will tell you to if the money no reach.
It's time for you to leave.
Well, this is actually one advantage of China over all these countries. China insurance is just 800 RMB. That's even for 1 year, right?
But please, you can't compare. I beg.
The worst place you go see.
No, China, they don't go pay your if you sick. If you sick, they pay 300.
For those of us who are still back in China, Chinese insurance are very crazy. They don't pay the money. Like they don't put your bills most of the times, and most of the time they don't put your bill. You'll be the one to pay yourself. So I beg, they talk this Chinese insurance. I beg.
Chinese insurance is okay based on my own experience. If you have scholarship, the insurance is there. It's only that maybe if you have maybe some feelings, I need to go for some tests, they will not pay you.
Have you seen anybody that went to the hospital that had surgery and you saw the insurance paid for you? All these things
in my own school, they will pay for you. But if you are going to do tests, maybe you go and do tests, maybe to check what is wrong with you, you are going to pay yourself. It's only when they see that you're on the bed, you send them pictures, you are dying. That's when they are now going to release a fund for you, for the doctor to carry out the surgery on you. So that's how it works.
Basically. Like the guys that have surgeries, they didn't care anything. We had to drag, and at the end of the day, we have to make those payments ourselves. So maybe it now depends on the insurance company.
For Chinese work insurance, so there's nothing special about it compared to Europe. Now, for example, they only cover 550. That's almost the same money they cover in Europe. But the doctors know what they are doing. They don't tell you that it's because you are fat, that's why you can't breathe, or it's because you have fatty liver or something. They're just not stupid. Because you're just seeing a doctor that is ready to help you. They empathize. They know what is wrong with you. They've seen somebody in your color. They're not gawking at you. Nurses are not gawking at you or trying to touch you.
Thank you very
much. Thank you very much. That gives you freedom in your head. Please.
Thank you very much.
Please, everybody, please, this next webinar, if I hear that you're in China, we fight like this, I'll remove fan for you. Please.
They should continue making Airbnb. Let's continue living.
All right. So we are still looking at other people sharing their experience. UK, she already said healthcare is free in the UK. Because I know that you guys pay that your insurance before leaving. Healthcare is free. All right. Do we have more comments on we covered hospitals, we covered transport, we covered other things. So let's make it free house advice. Now
For Canada, let me just comment. For Canada, it is flexible for you if you're a student. Based on my own personal experience, when I came here, you are required to pay your insurance. It's around $1,500 or more like that. So I paid the money. So around this time when I came, then I was a bit sick. I really don't even know what is wrong with me. And at the end, nothing was really wrong with me. So, but I had to see a doctor then. That was when I knew that the Canadian doctors, they are like God. Before you can see them, you will sweat. It's very, so that's how we advise anybody, if you are coming to Canada, don't come here. If you know you have sickness or you have one particular health challenges, it's better you have some of your drugs handy here. In fact, for it to make it worse, you can't go to the chemist, just go in Nigeria, go to any chemist or pharmacy to get drugs. You can't get it, and you have to go to doctor's prescription. When you enter the pharmacy, they have a pharmacy they use it, they call it pharmacy. Once you enter that place, those pharmacies, they will ask you, where is your doctor's prescription? And they must see it, they must see your ID. In fact, the doctor will have to send it to their system for them to confirm that this is actually coming from. They can't sell not all the drugs you can find on the counter. Say, for instance, if you have a dig just to get an analgesic or whatever it is, you can't get it anyhow here. So if you want to come here, get your drugs handy. So at least within the time when you're able to see the doctor, you still have some drugs that will help you to suppress the pain before you can be bought. Their doctors are very good, let me put it down. Although I'm a student, and when I try to use the general hospital, that one is very crazy. Like, it was so difficult to see that because they pay most of their attention to their citizen. I could remember staying like 13 hours waiting for doctor, and in the end, the doctor told me nothing was wrong with me. Imagine, and I was feeling pain. The doctor just checked they just did one test for me, and they said nothing was wrong with this guy. Just go back home, sleep, eat, and rest. That's all he told me, and drink enough water. I said, God. So, and since then, I just tried to make myself try, and ever since, if anything is wrong with me, since I know nothing is wrong with me, because what matters is that once you do a test, because there's sometimes that you'll be feeling pain, nothing is really wrong with you. Maybe it's just your psychology that is actually affecting you. Once you're able to do some tests and you confirm that nothing is wrong with you, it's up to you to make yourself happy. Maybe you need to add some activities to your daily whatever, just to make your body active. Maybe like exercise, going out for fun. And so that was how I was able to pass through, scale through all those things. But in Canada, healthcare is not free, it's very expensive, and it is very difficult to see a physician here. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you. That was pure information. So please take your medicine with you. And also, you might get a shock. I don't know, I think it's Euro people. You might get a shock if you have COVID here. So people just be looking at you like you have normal cough. And please don't bring your mask. You don't need it, because if you wear mask, that's when they will avoid you. Because they just be looking at you, because only old people wear masks here. So don't bring that your Chinese man. No need. If you have COVID, you just drink water. You'll be fine. No need. Just take paracetamol. You'll be okay. And everybody will be having fun going around. And I feel like one thing that shocked me when I got here, one thing that shocked me is because there are shops for weed. And you can just enter and just get whatever weed you need. So, but please, there are grams that you can go over. So please don't go over the government approved grams of whatever CBD you are trying to buy. Okay?
Everywhere for here now, still now weed for here. We they buy weed easily for me.
Easily, that was shocking. They even offer you on the street. They say testing. What is this? Coming to you, they say testing.
It's so plenty for here. Like my flatmate, they open like anything. Like, you be like Messiah stop for this place. Just go with your passport, buy your weed.
So that was like shock you. So they call it testing. Once they come close to you, just like testing. You know when a bookie wants to give you this watch inside market, that's a testing. What is testing? Somebody told me that.
It be like say the day where any drop message, voice note inside about almost 10 voice notes inside that group. If like any don't take that day.
I don't take at all. I don't take. I have other things to do. All right. I'm just telling you that these are some of the things that you find normal. Also, let's talk about churches or mosque or religious gatherings and all of that. So if you have any experience, are there churches that you can attend? Yes, there's only one redeemed church in this Lisbon. Hallelujah. There's redeemed church. You can go there, but that's not where I go. Thank you very much. There are other English-speaking churches also, and there are Catholic churches because Portugal is a Christian country. We like God here. So there are many Catholic churches.
And there's Church of Satan too, yeah. Church of Satan.
Okay.
In Germany?
No, be me they talk. I just my own be say if they come here, they go church. Just no say they pay tax for church. Oh. Carry am for mind. Church day.
But tax day. Also.
But tax day.
You just feel like, honestly, you just feel like when people have scammed you. That's my point. Just like,
choose your church.
They are not even go to that church, no. They are just
choose it wisely. So, choose where you are going to wisely. And where you can gain something. You know, where you can gain something. Now you go choose, and not be where because nobody for here, no, you don't need to pray down God for things to work for you. You just have to
exactly. So it's like more like
just have to be
the good thing about churches in this place is that they share information a lot, especially the African community churches. Yeah, like the Ghanaian church, the Nigerian church, they share information a lot. They help people in terms of stability.
Me, I know they go any church because I know not on a normal, but if they talk of information, just to say, most of these European schools they share information for your email. And if they take your email very serious and they look around for your mailbox or around school, you go get information which will change your life. Like I did school now. I did another scholarship for here for entrepreneurship program. We don't change my life small, and I believe they will change them more. So if you come here, you go open your eye. In fact, I think it's the whole Europe said opportunities full. People know they look at. So if they do say you don't say like school, or like to overtax yourself, if you miss all those opportunities, they full ground. I don't know about Canada and US, but I just want to say Europeans lazy. So those opportunities, if you put yourself.
They don't stress to share anything. They will share it. You don't have to go to church to get it. They put it on the wall. They don't have all these notice boards. I beg.
One thing I would like to say is if you are in an international body, like if you come and you register to an international body, for example, as an immigrant, normally there are some jobs you'll be doing, you cannot access some things. But if you go to some government controlled jobs like medicine, like education, like so many other things, there are so many perks in it. For example, teachers can pay 5% deposits on mortgage. Okay, doctors have their own perks. Sometimes when we strike too much, they give you discounts on so many shoppings. Okay, and then they send you email. You get bursary for studying some courses because they want to help you with your professional growth. So they can sign you up on some courses to study to help you develop. And with these courses, it's very, very transferable. There are so many transferable skills. And even some people, like sometimes they give some teachers or some doctors like free eye check, free, some of these things are free just for it to be faster to help you because they know, you are stressed or you're something like that. So on Teachers Day, they gave teachers some discount vouchers for shopping and things like that. So it's very, very important to get into your international body If they're striking, you strike with them. Don't say, I'm an immigrant, I don't want to stand anywhere. All these things that have been in China that you're like, you're scared. You don't want them to say, look at this white boy. If people are striking, your people are striking, strike with them if you're in the international body. If they are protesting, protest with them. Because if you stand out, they are also trying to represent everyone. So that's it.
Why you no go strike? If you come here, can't they do say you they isolate yourself? Now you they lose because they know they even like them. They want somebody when no get that mentality to say they isolate them or something. You guys put your feet down and they show that as in not be if and they know they like busybody too. They don't like busybody, they don't like oversight. But if they're open to them, things will come to you. And if you know they do shy, things will come to you. Another good thing about here, I know talk earlier, we say, when they hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so another good thing we say, if you come here now, they get many us builder programs, like programs where we say, if they go school, man, they do them, and once you finish and you go get like job they overshot for you. Like this place now, okay, one thing why I don't know before I go here to say, now them be the mother of all this engineering software and say they now them be all those arrest or something when they hear those things. So they very particular about skills, like, and their school now draw system of education, like as they go on, they make sure say they work concurrently so they get experience for the thing where you study for school. Even companies they find you to come do thesis for their place, especially if you be science or all these technical people. Then if you finish, then do new law. If you finish inside that your 18 months, if you no get job, God forbid, say which you study, you no get job, then they will give you go apply for another 18 months. That 18 months now for you to use them, start to you go enroll for language. Assuming say a language make you not get the job, you go enroll for language. Then you are free to go to any of their schools, any of the technical schools, whether a handwork, whether you want to do nursing something, whether you want to do data something, you go enroll, they go pay for you. That time now for you to upscale yourself skill wise. Once you finish, you must get job. On how you know can't get job, they go discharge you. And if you don't they work, certainly you can't lose your job. They go they pay you money. Like say you they work, something happen, you know can't get job again. Then go they pay you money. And if you did for China, for instance, they study language, you can actually enter here. Cameroonians are using that advantage.
Yes,
You can learn language.
yes, I forgot
Okay,
that.
you know about it.
Yes, thank
you know
you.
about yeah.
You can come to Europe and speak Chinese and work straight from China.
Yeah. So then if you learn their language outside here, if you learn German language, can't get B2, you can come straight to nursing. Assuming you say you know even get nursing background, you say one come study nursing, they pay you €15. You go they go school on top of their head, still they do job as a nurse. If you say you want to be carpenter, you come, but this one now another route to come here. You must learn the language, get B2. Then no person or places where you fit apply. Once the government now they bring you come with the company where carry you. Once you come here, they will put you for the training school. Inside that training school, you could collect salary, they learn, they work. So this place get many roads are the routes where people don't know. The only bad thing is say when you don't work, they tax. They tax many, you understand? But if not say you whether if you work or if your life go easy for you, that one day. So now shared community, they share everything, I give everybody. Okay.
Another thing I want to add is I want to beg people, please, if you're coming to UK to study and you have postgraduate work permit, please don't do sponsorship visa first. Don't rush to do healthcare sponsorship visa. Because one thing I found out is that a lot of people are regretting it. Okay, because that healthcare sponsorship visa, the work you'll be working, it will so constrict you that you won't even have time to some people say, oh, let me do sponsor healthcare, then from there I'll move. It's a lie. It's going to take all your time. You won't even be able to even you have to prepare for interviews, and it's like different stages of interviews. So what I would advise people that are coming is that there's no dependent again, but there's still postgraduate work permit for you. So once you finish school, like some people, I don't blame them. They'll pick shift and walk around the clock and not gain skills while they are studying because they want to pay school fees and bills. But once you get on your postgraduate work permit, make sure you work in IT or work in that place that you want to thrive in, because here they are big on experience, especially UK experience. Some people, and especially if you don't have the skills yet, they want you to get at least a little bit of UK experience. So what people do, like people that still want to enter IT, you start as service desk analyst or IT technician, all these small things, and you don't even need to have so much experience in it. Okay, you don't even need to have, for the fact that you schooled in the UK, they believe you can learn on the job. Okay, just start with that one, maybe 27K per month, or just 23K. From there, so long as you have a footprint of where you've worked, your experience, once you finish in that your 1 year experience, or even 6 months self, and you know that you have solid reference from your office, just apply and start looking for visa. So people I know that they were like, there's some people tell you that they just come here, that is the papers, that is the main thing. Do you want to work in a menial job for the rest of your life? Do you want to clean people's bum for the rest of your life? Is that what you want to do for your life? Okay, so it's just like, and that for me, I don't know, I feel like I'm really managing with healthcare because it's my part-time job, because I swear if it is my full-time job, I'm going to tear my hair out, because people there, they don't go to school. Most of them are unschooled. They don't even know how to behave. It's like the lowest of the low of people that didn't go to school.
And people will be making it
Why
in
would
their
you
head.
can't even have discussion with them? Some of them, it's like going and to come and discuss. I'm sorry, I'm being classist, but it's like going and be having discussion with gate man or these people. Some of them, if you talk to them, you see how like very nasty with even attitude. But if you work in professional settings, you will see, as in, even if they don't like you, you see, if you go to profession, like in this education they are, nobody will show you that they don't like you, even if they don't. Like, it's like, pressing your neck politically. It's not like nasty healthcare where somebody will openly come and face to face. Like, you see how class it is. And you don't want to be working with these people. Some of them are high school leavers. They don't want to go to uni. Just pick this job. And it's like minimum wage. They don't even care to increase your salary unless you protest or do something.
Just to add to what things one talk before I come out. If you want come here, if they do all those moments where the people they do for you could say they no one can study you, say they just want Japa. They do
you will just suffer recklessly.
no come. Now your life you dey fuck up. Like you go hate your life. Voila, you come here, you must study. Say you come school. If you can't do say from one program into another one, you don't enter your record. If you don't finish there or anything we they do. Anything we they do, now yourself they do, no be anybody they do. When you go know now, when you go cry for your eye. Anything
even if you want to do, even if you want to do those work, there is a way to do it. Like people in construction, they take construction certifications and they become managers. You're not stuck in that role where you're just mingling with. Some of them are just people that are just living by the day, just want to they don't care. Okay, so even if you want to do healthcare, you can like take only 1 year, use it and gain experience, and then move to nursing. It's even easier. Okay, when you know that you have stood, you have made money, you have saved, you can pay for. One beautiful thing about UK is that they don't care what your degree is. So long as you have shengbam experience, you can move to anything. You can go from engineering to nursing because you had 6 months experience in healthcare or 6 months experience in taking care of people. Okay, you can do pre-registration pharmacy and all these things are solid jobs. You can never run out of. My friend was showing me how much she earns per shift. She's earning 65 pounds per hour per shift in her nursing distance, and so long she's in NHS, the way she's climbing, they are always understaffed. One day she came in last year in band 5. She was in band 4. Now she's in band 6. Okay, and all this in just experience. She didn't go to any more school. She didn't go to any, just get experience and start climbing. And sometimes they won't be begging you to go to school. Like she told them, she said they gave them bursary for masters, not his bursary, but they're like, we are stressed. How can we be working and still be studying for masters? So make sure you don't come here to like, you see, the worst thing that will happen to you in the Western country is be underrepresented and now be on the lowest cadre. You know, like be now in the prey level. Okay, it's enough that you're underrepresented. Try and now be among the high people, so that even if they won't chop you, una go they press una neck each other. It's not like you're there, you can't even say anything. You're under there, you're a minority, you're underrepresented, and you're now having all this banter with people. Like I can't even stand it sometimes.
So thank you. Yes, those are facts that you need to know, please, not just about, so even if you're going to end up doing blue collar, you have to be like, I mean, we set ourselves to be the higher, but it's okay to be, because for example, you are a minority. For example, I've not seen any Black professor in my school. In the old school of science and tech, me, I've not seen. So
I'm always the only Black teacher. So they used to be very, very careful. I'm always the Black teacher in any school I go to. So, and they'll try to reason you and be doing diversity and inclusion. You grab it and move up to the ladder, grab it by the neck. You say, oh, what do you think? And now they have like Nigerian students, come and organize this thing. You put it on your CV, open file. As they're using you as diversity and inclusion, use it as your success file, so that when you want to ask them for promotion, tell them, this is what I've been doing. This is what I've been, it's like recorded, like that's what I start keeping my success file of things. Like they'll ask you, oh, Miss, you can speak Chinese. Miss, you're Nigerian. Come and help us. I'll write it. From here to here, I organize this thing for immigrant students. Therefore, you can do EAL, you can do send, all these things. As they are using you, be recording it and use it to climb the ladder. Don't just remain there and be like, okay. Me, I'm just a new teacher. I'm just climbing, but I'm like, you see, you people are using me for diversity and inclusion. Make sure you add me. I must become headmistress.
All right. So thank you very much for all of the stuff. Please, if you are in the group,
I wanted to ask one.
I'm sorry, please, can you text Swan? It's been 3 hours, 15 minutes.
Okay, dear.
So that's a lot of time. Please kindly text Swan on the group. She's going to answer. Somebody wrote a question on the group. Please kindly write your message on the group. If you're in China, but you're not in the Japa Nation group, please ask JBT, the welfare officer of Mido, to add you to the group, or you can ask it in the group, and I'm sure somebody in the Nigerian groups will answer you. All right, so thank you. I want to thank everybody that participated, everybody in the community, because we all did our best. It's been 3 hours and we still have 52 people here. That is a miracle. So please, thank you. Please reach out to the guys. Even if they don't answer you right now, it's probably because they are busy. Please believe it. They are busy. They will answer you later, even if they don't answer you right now. So please don't take it as an offense. Even if they don't answer you for a week, please keep knocking on their doors. One day they go vex, answer you, which is okay. And if they ask to charge for their services, please have mercy. If you can afford it, just do it, because they will give you the time and the effort. It's their own hustle. So please. So that's all we have to say. Please, if you have more questions, please ask in the group, or you get added to the group. All right. Also, we want to invite the Middle President to please give us a closing remark. Let us round this off. All right. So is our Middle President around? Mr. Nat. Hello.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
On behalf of Nido East, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate you, Miss Neola, and every amazing speaker in this program. For real, I was just enjoying this program.
I saw you now.
I'm just noting down my Japa bag is already ready. Like, we really appreciate you, and We commend your effort for organizing this reunion. Thank you so much. And with the Nido East China member is so grateful for you to bring up this topic of discussion. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope everyone learns one thing or the other. Hope to see you all soon in which of the country in the future.
Guys, yes, please don't limit yourself. Thank you, Vice President. Thank you, Nido, for having us.
Thank you.
And also giving us your space. Thank you very much.
If
Thank
you're
you.
coming to Canada, you can please contact me. Please feel free to contact me. It's fine.
Yes,
Okay?
please feel free to contact me
Thank you
Canada
very much,
Vibes
everyone.
or events or programs.
Please, can you guys provide the contact of everybody in the various countries, please? Thank you.
I am sorry, I don't think that would be like violation of privacy, but please, we leave this stuff here now, and you can DM them directly here to get their contact. Please, are you on the WeChat group? If you're on the WeChat group, then maybe we can add this to the group. And if you're on Telegram, then you can add this to the Telegram, even though it's not very functional, but you can get people there. So please, I'm trying to look for
I'm in the WeChat group. How do I know their names so that I can
okay.
contact them?
Which countries would you like to find them? So I can give you their names.
US and Norway.
Okay, are you in the Japa group or you're in the chat room or the middle group?
I'm in the Japa group.
Oh, the Japa group, I listed it today. Let me copy it again. I'll put their country in front. Right?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just put their country in there, then you can just see it and add it. Right?
It's okay.
That's okay.
Also, thank you.
Thank you.
If you're interested in UK and you want to do teaching or education, contact me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Please,
If you are interested in security job in California, contact me.
I they come, Oga. That money you are putting, you see me outside.
Yeah. Have a nice day, everyone.
United States, go there, any country, go there.
Please don't be shy. If they don't answer their phone, they answer you. It take a while, but please keep knocking because you can get the best information than getting it from Twitter. Twitter live Lokumbe. So everybody just try to do content. So please.
Everyone just try to apply. It may be a little bit difficult, but push.
Oh, yes. Please, I want to tip in something, please. You see, for the three, I think 4 of us in the US, we all know each other from China. So the point is that if you have information, call your people along. Success is not for one person, no. I'm telling you, success is not for one person. It's not for one person. Dodo, you still talking. Dodo was the one that brought me to China. I can say that I'm the one who brought him to US now, but he's the one who brought me into China.
Yeah. And I'm actually the one that brought 2 of them to China.
Imagine, please, why don't you tag me along? I know you people now. Let me do handbag.
So as much as you can, if you're somewhere, reach out to your people that you know. Even I didn't know about China
of people.
So Chinese will say Toe because success is good when everybody has.
And also, no apply to only one school. Like last year, I think if they type business analytics application, they're supposed to see my name in top 5.
Me and Joe, they do application war.
Of course.
we have the truth. It was wild.
Yeah.
Good luck to everybody. And if you are trying to go to newer countries, please don't be shy. Just head out. You survived China. That's what my landlord told me. I'll never forget that woman. He said, you survived China. Oh, wow. That's what he said.
Wow. The woman knows say stress, they their place. Thank God says they know the truth.
Said she goes, when they go for New Year, she can only stay 2 weeks. That after 2 weeks, she can't tolerate anything again.
She shall not say na head she dey here.
So please, China is the stepping stone for you. You've seen it all. There is nothing new. In fact, racism is not new anymore. Maybe the US one is special. I don't know.
It's better that somebody do. It's better that somebody does miss up to racism. At least both of us will use common sense and logical sense and be following each other. That you come to my face and call me Hegwe. When I know that after beating you, I'll go to jail. This place is sense, racism by sense. They will be smart. You all right, love? I'll say, oh, I'm all right. I'm all right. I got reports. Oh my. Got report herself. They're mad.
Somebody told me that, somebody was using leg to avoid him on the train. The guy is a tall person. I'm like, in China, they will stand up, they might even speak. They will just use leg to avoid you.
The ones that used to shout and jump out of the elevator, uncle. I said, this one will laugh at